Hello, Voices of Wrestling listener. Dave Ryan here. Have you ever wondered to yourself how many hidden gems are hidden away inside the last years of World Championship Wrestling? Have you ever asked yourself how many tenuous gags can be made about the name Mike Enos? And have you ever thought about what it sounds like for two Irishmen to interpret a very chaotic company through its B show? The answers to all this and more are just a click away. Check out Days of Thunder every second Thursday on the Voices of Wrestling podcast network.
Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Collins, and I am the host of the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, a show right here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. On the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, we take a deep look at individual issues and stories that are going on in the wrestling world. Each episode is about a different topic, and we take a thorough and educated look at things ranging from current booking trends to breakdowns on individual performers and angles to investigations into different fan cultures across the industry. In addition, we keep a close eye on the wrestling media, and as a professional journalist, I bring a unique perspective to how current issues in wrestling are being covered and discussed through the wrestling media. We have a revolving series of guests from across wrestling punditry joining us on each episode, and we hope that you make the choice to give us a listen on wherever you get your podcast from.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
What do you guys want to talk about?
You are listening to the Flagship Podcast with your hosts, Joe Lanza.
The lines are blurred between the living and the dead. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Can I just watch a wrestling show ever in my life? I don't want the lines blurred between the living and the dead, Rich. I just want to watch guys wrestle.
Rich Crage.
He's wearing it?
A goddamn shirt. It's a button-up shirt. It's blue and it's purple, and there are purple drafts all over his fucking shirt. Apologize to me right now, everybody.
Rich, take that dub.
And we are live on the Flagship Podcast. I am Rich. He is Joe. Joe, what's happening? How are you?
Hello, how are you, Rich Crate?
I am doing well, Mr. Joe Lanza. Hey, tomorrow is Halloween. What are your favorite Halloween candies?
Oh, God.
You got to do it. It's required if you're doing a podcast in and around Halloween. No, I really I don't care what your favorite candy is. We can maybe get to that later. But I do care, though. I always get the yearly update on this, and I'm very curious this year as the kids are getting a little bit older. What is what's the attire for Halloween? Are we getting close to like not liking Halloween anymore, or are we still all the way in?
No, they're not even 10.
Okay. Oh, okay. We got a ways to go then. Okay.
They're still little. He I don't know. He's being some Fortnite skeleton or something.
Fortnite skeleton.
I don't know. And
Fortnite. I'm gonna look up Fortnite skeleton and see if
she's some kind of witch gimmick.
You don't know what the hell they are?
I mean, I saw. We want from me. The mother takes care of that. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, this Fortnite skeleton guy. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what you're looking at, but I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like I've seen this sometimes. It's just like yeah. If you look up Fortnite skeleton, let me know if that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's. I didn't even know there were skeletons in that game.
I played it like once, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Some guy's building a freaking fort and then shooting me. I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on. This is stupid. I just want to shoot people.
You're playing the build version. You can play the non-build version.
I just want to. I don't know. I realize at the other end, it's an 11-year-old that's just absolutely destroying me, and I'm like, I can't live with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't know I'm just getting owned by a 12-year-old online.
I tell him just to go hide out until everybody else dies, but he says that's frowned upon.
Yeah. Camping. You get no camping.
Yeah.
The kids are still not camping. That's good.
If the goal is to win, then just go hide and let everybody else kill each other. And then,
sir, you are somebody who we've had this discussion very recently about Sim, playing Sim online. I mean, maybe the boys is following in your footsteps. Somebody would say, use the same play every single time in Madden and you'll win every game. And you're like, no, that's not how we play though. right?
I think a strategy where you set up a little command post for yourself and snipe people from afar is a legitimate strategy, though.
Now that's a strategy. You're saying go hide, like you in your mind, like hide, but still try to snipe, like not just like literally hide and just try to get away from everything.
There'll be these little huts and stuff in the map, right?
Yeah.
And players will go in there looking for like the treasure boxes or whatever the fuck. And I tell them just hide in there. And when people come in, kill them, because they're going to eventually come in that little, little shack that you're in or whatever. Or if you're hiding behind some, he says, he says that's boring. He wants to jump around and be in the middle of the battle. I'm like, all right, well, you're not going to win as much doing that. But what do I know? I don't play these dopey games. This is the new generation of games. I have no interest in it. So plays it the way he plays it. Yes, they call it camping. It's allegedly very frowned upon.
Yeah,
but
always kind of was. Even in the Call of Duty days. I mean, if you were a good sniper, though, if you were a good sniper, though, it was a legit strategy. But there were people that would just see the snipers, though. You give up your spot when you would snipe, so people would then know, okay, that guy's up there. Right, but then there'd be people that would legit just like hide until there was one guy left, and then pop out and then kill that guy. I never got into Call of Duty or Halo. I never played any of that shit. I was going to say, you never struck me as a first-person shooter type of guy. I dabbled, but I was terrible at them, so I didn't play very much of them. Yeah. I don't know. I was playing sports games and GTA. Yeah, I very similar too. Yeah, I had same today actually. Nothing has changed. My whole times have changed. Nothing has changed. I always say that about when people talk about what they used to do, and I'm like, I kind of am the same person I was when I was 14. A few things have changed, obviously, but like I just watch basketball and play sports video games and watch wrestling. It's like nothing, pretty much the same. My life has not changed very much. But I played a little bit. The problem, I had a lot of buddies that were first-person shooter friends, so I'd have to play with them. But then little by little, they would realize how horrible I was, and I would stop getting invited. They'd all be online, and they'd be like, "Oh, you guys playing?" They're like, "Oh, we're about to get offline. I mean, don't even worry. It's fine. We're I'm like, all right, I get it. I'll just go back and play. I'll go play NCAA. Yeah. It's fine." You were a SOCOM guy though, right? Or no? No, I thought you were a SOCOM guy on the PlayStation. No, okay. No, I was never into any of that. Yeah, couldn't get into it. Wasn't very good. I didn't find them very fun either. Too stressful. It's similar to this Fortnite gimmick, just like you're an army man instead. Yeah, I mean, I always played I played Call of Duty is more what I played. Yeah. Like I played a little bit of the Halo, but I was more of the Call of Duty or the Battlefield stuff, and it's a similar vibe. It's just not as goofy. Obviously, right. Fortnite's very goofy, and there's jetpacks, and there's a bunch of silly stuff. This was like you're in a war-torn nation, and you're hiding in these dilapidated buildings or whatever, stuff like that. But he'll be playing Fortnite, and like John Cena will come over and shoot at him. Right. Little Uzi Vert and John Cena are on the screen. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, I'm like, what is this? You just got murked by John Cena. What is happening? And then he just did "You Can't See Me" and took all your guns. What is this game? Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. So it's a little, it's a little sillier, I would imagine, than some of these army sims. And Halo never appealed. I'm like, what is this? Flying saucers and shit? I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'll play that. No interest. Fucking sci-fi bullshit. Aliens and whatnot. Yeah, I didn't take you for a Halo guy. I maybe thought you dabbled a little bit in the realistic shooters like a SOCOM or the Call of Duty, the World War II era Call of Duties, but I could see that's not your vibe exactly. So fuck that. No, not really. You got time. I got Madden. I got Madden 03 to play instead. So it's pretty much it. Yeah, GTAs I was into. That's my rotation, the sports games and the Grand Theft Auto. I never got into GTA Horse, but that's just because I never really had the time or the inclination. I would probably play those games, but I just never got around to them. I don't know if you would like them. I think I know what you like in games. Yeah, they're a little bit slower paced. Like, what kind of GTA player are you? I guess that would be the best way to. I'm a pretty slow paced GTA player. Okay. I prefer the missions that take a little bit of thought as opposed to just going in guns blazing. I like a little strategy based when I'm
when I'm killing people in those games, as opposed to the. So I don't know. I've watched videos of them and it looked interesting. I'm like, oh, this is Grand Theft Auto on a horse, is what these games are. So I was always interested in them, but I don't even know the real name. Red Dead
Redemption. Red Dead Redemption would be the. Yeah, I feel like the
Redemption.
second one's very slow moving, so I don't like the first one is great, but I don't know if it holds up anymore. There's probably like a remaster that you could play now. If it's the second one, I just didn't like it as much as the first one, and the second one it very slow paced, a lot of long dialogues. Like you're watching, like you're on your horse, galloping through the countryside as you're talking to another person, but those will go on for like 15 minutes or whatever, and I'm just like, all right, I'm a busy man, I don't have time for this. So the first one I think is a little bit more of a game. The second one's more of like it's a cinematic game. I would say, like, it's really good. I mean, it's really good, but you need to devote a lot of time to it.
Well, I don't do shit, so
I guess you got plenty of time. So maybe you should download.
It's not really an
I was
issue.
gonna say time is of the. Maybe just get Red Dead Redemption 2. Maybe just get Red Dead Redemption 2. So, anyway, someone said, "Are you gonna get the new GTA?" Of course, Joe Lance is gonna get the new.
Yeah, I mean, isn't everybody gonna get the new? Who isn't gonna get the new GTA? I mean,
The best part about
get the new GTA?
That's like GTA 5 is now that game came out like 11 years ago, 12 years ago or whatever, and
like
is
15 years ago, right? Like 15.
I don't know if it was quite 15, but it was a long ass time ago, long ago, and it sold 8 billion copies then. It's sold 8 billion copies since then. Everyone's on GTA Online. I think I read something that's like the most popular thing ever. Like they didn't know what to call it.
Right.
But it's just like it's made more money than anything else has ever made in any media, any entertainment medium ever. It's just like it just makes. It was always like they'd have the top 10 video game charts and it'd be like 2020 and it would still be like number 2. Like it just was always in the top 5 forever and ever and ever and ever. It's like who doesn't have this game right now? But it would still sell all the time. It's incredible.
Yeah, I still play it on PS3. I got the PS3 down here in the other room, and every now and then I'll come down here and fire it up. I never got it on the PS5. I still have it on the PS3.
Yeah.
So
wow.
It still gets played. The boy plays it, but he plays it. He doesn't like the foul language, so he doesn't do the missions. He just
he doesn't like the foul language, or he's not allowed.
Well, he doesn't like it. It makes him uncomfortable.
The
foul language.
Yeah.
So he just likes to drive around and experiment and like try to block the roads. Like he'll steal all the buses and try to block the roads with the buses just to see what, like he does those kind of experiments.
Okay. That's fine. And that's the great thing about a GTA game is however you want to play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could do that. You could go wild with cheats and just blow everything up. You can do the slow pace, like you said. You can stop at stoplights. I don't know if you ever watched those YouTube videos. Those are fascinating. Guys that play it like
following the traffic laws.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You're insane. But it's so fun to watch. The guy's like, "Oh, here, I got to make a left turn, so let me wait for the traffic to go." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is insane. Like, what are you doing?" But hey, you know what? The world is your oyster. Whatever you want to do with it. So.
Yeah. So he's got like the Minecraft mindset. He just experiments when he plays. Okay.
Well, he tinkers. He tinkers with the game. That's
tinkers and experiments. Yes. But yeah, you gotta get it. When's that coming out next year?
Sometime May or something like that. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I just got flashed as TLB comes down into the kitchen.
God, she can't do that.
A little early for a flashing, right?
And it ruins you. You're a fucking disaster the rest of the night. You all right? You're going to be okay?
Nah, I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
Yeah, you've seen him. You've seen him.
I have Cincinnati Red shirt too.
Oh no, she knows what she's doing. So.
Yeah.
So the girl is a witch or something.
Some kind of witch gimmick. I don't know.
Is it like a popular witch or is it like an original witch? Like is she doing her own?
Yeah, she's like a sorceress.
A sorceress.
A sorceress. Okay.
Okay. So she's some kind of witch gimmick. It's exactly what I said.
Okay.
All right, I'm being corrected.
Don't call
it's apparently
a witch and a sorceress are different.
A sorceress or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah, it was the Fortnite skeleton. Yeah, we went over that.
Yeah, we got that. Yeah. Okay. Witch and so sorcerer.
Sorceress.
Sorceress. Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So this is like an original, like this isn't like based off any IP.
I told you, man.
It's an original.
This is a wife thing. I don't. The mother handles this. I don't know. I just listen. Halloween, I stay home and answer the door. I stay home and answer the door. So that's just not part. That's not what I handle. I don't handle the costume buying or any of that. I'm not the idea man. She handles all that.
So I looked this up, and I know you're very curious too. The difference between witchcraft and sorcery. Are you ready?
Sure.
In principle, as we know, this from Cambridge University Press. I like that they had to spend time on this. In principle, as we know below, a distinction can be made between witchcraft as the expression of a malign power in a person's body and sorcery as the use of a magical craft or knowledge to harm or benefit others. I don't know if I understand the difference, so.
All right. Sounds the same to me.
It does kind of sound the same to me, but.
Okay.
If someone in the chat wants to direct message Joe on Discord, please let him know. If you're in the chat right now and saying, you guys, I know the difference between witchcraft and sorcery, please go to voicesofwrestling.com/Discord, find Joe Lanja, and direct message him with the explanation, please, if you could.
Great.
Multiple people, if you have it, that'd be great too. Send them all in. Please send them all in to Joe Lanza's Discord.
All these pagans in my DMs now. All this satanic black magic sick shit in my DMs very soon.
As Jordan Smith says, you know that Tommy End can tell you the difference between witchcraft and sorcery.
Tom End, yeah.
He definitely knows.
He's going to be in my DMs, Tom End.
Yeah, Mal Black's going to be like, all right, here's the difference. You know?
He's like, the difference is very simple, really. It all comes down to the method that you're doing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about it. He would be the guy to ask, honestly. He practices both. As someone who is both a pagan and a sorcerer, I've dabbled in both of these sciences, and I can tell you that, absolutely, he would know. No doubt about it. He was explaining it to Vince McMahon once, and Vince just had to
eyes glazed over.
Yeah. You know. So
Vince loved my idea. I told him a lot. That's my. I still love the idea that guy left Vince McMahon's office and said, "I nailed it. Oh, I nailed that pitch. He loved my idea." And it's like, brother, when that door closed, the second you were out of earshot, he buried the shit out of you. You know why I know? Because he fucking fired you. You're not there right now. That's how I know he didn't like your job.
Great idea, Malachi.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it as soon as he left.
I love it. Bruce, what the fuck was that?
Keep him away from me.
Right.
Keep him away from me.
Tell Paul to fire him.
Where's my steak wrap? Right. Yeah.
It's so
of course.
Good, yeah.
Like the one half of the Iconics who never hear that story where she was like, Vince asked me what I do in my free time because he was trying to get ideas for what he could do with me. And she's like, I really don't have any hobbies. So I told him the truth. I said I like to sit home with my dog and watch movies. And I realized that was a big mistake. But that he replied to me, "That's great. You like to watch movies. There's nothing wrong with that." But he's full of shit. Like he immediately lost interest in her as soon as she gave that answer because, and she knew it. Like she's like, "Oh, I just fucked everything." Like
for a man who has watched maybe 3 movies in the last 60 years, he's just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
So as soon as she walked away, he's like, "Bruce, get this zilch away from me. Get her out of my
right."
Same thing with Malachi. Keep this guy away from me. What? It's sorcery? Fucking keep Damien Demento away from me.
I don't like Damien Demento. Fire his ass. Yeah. God.
Excellent question, Damien.
Yeah. Those Tommy Yen fucking streams in front of his bookcases.
Wasn't it like a green screen?
It was a green screen with like a bookcase. It was like a bookcase with a candelabra in the background and candles. It's like, what are you doing? God, you're such a fucking loser.
With this guy. With his one contact in that makes the one eye look like it's possessed or something.
I'll tell you, not as good as Bobby Fish's. You can keep your Tom End. I'm going to take my Rob Fish podcasts and live streams. Those we will talk about that soon. Do not worry. That'll be a topic at some point in this show. But we got a lot. We got a lot to get to. Even though it's a light week in terms of like actual real topics, but it's a big week in dumb topics for us to talk about. Like there's no like real. There's nothing real to talk about at all. But like actual, real hard like wrestling news, there's fucking nothing this week. We're gonna review MLW Symphony of Horrors because of course we are. We're an MLW podcast. We of course are gonna talk about that. Are we gonna spend way too long talking about Austin Aries' resurgence and how he got himself booked in CMLL? Of course we are. Come on, yeah. Are we talking about Bob Fish doing a 25-minute podcast about kicking out of the Go to Sleep in 3.1? Yeah, fuck yeah, we are. We're talking about Vince Russo joining Juggalo Championship Wrestling and Brian Idol getting involved and the NWA getting involved and Vince Russo's great booking plans that he has for Juggalo Championship Wrestling. Yeah, of course we are. And then we'll also preview Saturday night's main event, maybe. Hiroshi Tanahashi's Final Homecoming and Super Junior Tag League. A little preview of what's going on in the finals of the Super Junior Tag League. But anything off topic that you want to go to?
About Halloween Havoc.
Well, darn it, Joe. I forgot. Oh, right. Halloween Havoc. NXT.
You forgot Halloween Havoc.
Shoot. I watched the 1990 Halloween Havoc instead. Crap. That's what you... Okay. Well, feel free to discuss it at length while I do a load of laundry or something. So
we can pause this and reconvene after you've watched Halloween Havoc.
You want me just to pause the pod for 3 hours?
We can just hold off. You can go watch Halloween Havoc, and we can come back and break it down. I mean, I'm ready to go.
That sounds like a great idea. Yeah.
My knuckles have been cracked. I can't believe. Listen, I'm a little let down that you didn't watch Halloween Havoc. I have to say it's disappointing that you blew it off. I didn't think you were serious when you said you just weren't going to watch the NXT anymore. So you missed a lot. I mean,
yeah. What'd I miss?
Yeah. I mean, well, I can tell you that Wagner 3 and Ethan Page had an excellent match. It was actually very, very good. And you should probably go watch Wagner 3 versus Ethan Page. Would you believe me if I told you Tatum Paxley had a shockingly good match?
No, I wouldn't believe you.
You wouldn't believe that?
No, I don't think I would.
Okay, but you believe me that Ethan Page and Wagner 3
Yeah. I could buy that.
Okay.
Who was Tatum Paxley against?
Toxic Attraction 3.
Oh yeah, Mother Hen. Okay.
It was good. I promise you it was good.
Was it good or was it like NXT good?
It was good.
Good. Okay.
It was good. Ethan Page Wagner 3 was an absolute banger. That match was really good. And I don't give a shit. I don't like Ethan Page.
That was a Day of the Dead match, right? What was involved in the day? Were there
just no DQ? Just
Okay, so we didn't have a bunch of dumb weapons, or we did have a bunch of dumb weapons.
I mean, no, not really. Just it was an NXT plunder match, but Page did the match. He was tearing the mask, and Wagner then did that thing where he adjusts his head. He did the gimmick where he adjusts his head. He snapped when Page was ripping his mask, and then he beat the shit out of him. And Page retained, but it was a great time. That match was really, really good. I'll say this: that was the best match I saw this week. Ethan Page versus Wagner 3.
Okay,
better than anything on Dynamite. Better than anything on the AAA show, which you also neglected to bring up in the run sheet there. Better than any match I watched this week. Ethan Page.
Better than Austin Aries and Mystico?
Oh, I did watch that this week. Let me think about that.
Think about that. Stew on that.
It might have been better. It might have been better than that too. It was close. I'd put them both in the 4-star range, right in the 4-star range. So, similar quality, but different kinds of match. I think Ethan Page Wagner 3 was more intense. But yeah, Austin Aries versus Mystico fucking ruled. That was really good too. Now look, the rest of the NXT show was I mean,
I will tell you, I actually did, because I know that's our gimmick right now, and I'm like, I'm not going to watch NXT. But then I was like, there's really nothing going on this week. I should probably watch NXT. And I'll tell you, I went to WWE.com to get a photo for something else, for another article for the website. And I saw a recap, or it was like a photo recap of Halloween Havoc. And the first image I saw was Mr. Iguana and LA Park and La Parka versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. And I will tell you, what I saw horrified me and set me away. And I said, no, thank you. Joe can watch that all on his own. And you probably know exactly the image or the spots where I was like, yep, I'm good. I think I'm good.
All right. Well, I actually don't, because it could be the iguana puppet in the La Parka Mr. Iguana versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater match. Is it the iguana puppet?
It was the iguana puppet, yeah.
Oh, it was the iguana. Okay, because it also could have been the fact that there was not one, but two Paradise Locks on this show, one in each of the first two matches. So we had an iguana puppet. We had the Paradise Lock not once, but twice. We also had Broken Matt Hardy on this show.
God. Oh, that's right. The Broken Hardy. Oh, no. I could never have watched the show.
It was Broken Matt and Brother Nero versus Dark State.
No.
Yeah. So, and I didn't get to the main event yet. I didn't have time to get to the main event, which it's not getting great reviews.
I was going to say, I haven't heard a whole lot of positive about that Ricky Saints Trick Williams match, but
no, I haven't heard. Yeah. So I haven't gotten to that yet. I will watch it. Would you believe me if I told you Blake Monroe looked pretty good?
Sure. Yeah, probably.
She looked all right. She looked better than she has in this company in winning the prestigious NXT North American Women's title, whatever that thing's called, from because Sol Ruka's injured, Rich.
Yes, so she had a replacement, Zarya, and I heard that did not go well, and there might be some tension in the this group, this team that was brought together, thrown together, and then they found common ground. Even though they were very different people, they found common ground. But I've been told that doesn't look very good.
She lost her title. Lost her title. So she lost her title for her. So there might be some tension there between Zarya and Sol Ruka. Will that get you to turn on the CW to see?
No. I don't think so. Didn't that show already happen? Yeah, that show happened 2 days ago. No, I didn't watch it.
I'm saying, next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. No, I don't think so.
No, you're not going to turn it on?
No, I don't think so.
Will you watch Ethan Page Wagner 3?
I will. It came highly recommended by you. I saw a couple other people mention it was a very good match. So I probably will watch that.
Will you check in on Tatum Paxley to see if I'm lying to you?
Nah, I'm good. I'll just trust you.
You're just going to take my word for it.
I'll take your word for that.
You're going to take my word on that.
Dark State. Or no, she's not in Dark State. She's in fucking, what is the name of the...
She's with Sean Spears.
Yeah, what the hell is that group called?
That's the other...
the other spooky group. Yeah, what's her spooky group?
Sean Spears, like
The Culling. The Culling.
Yeah.
Who was... Oh, sorry. Yeah. Who was the... Who had the push-up bra and the Chucky outfit as the host of NXT Halloween Havoc?
There was no host. We did have Jordan Grace as Velma from Scooby-Doo, which I think is really on brand. For some reason, and I can't explain it.
Yeah, it kind of works.
That's really on brand. I feel like that's so chalk for her to be Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about sexy Velma. I think it's
You've made it
I don't think
well known over the years, your stance on sexy Velma.
I don't understand sexy Velma. It's not a sexy cartoon character. Velma is a very unattractive cartoon character. I don't know why.
That's a pretty short skirt, though, Joe. That's a very short skirt. Any thoughts on that?
See, the thing about Velma is this, okay? If Velma, the cartoon character, was a human, she'd be wholly unfuckable, okay? That's not a good looking, the
haircut's
Daphne,
rough. The haircut's rough.
Daphne is way hotter than Velma. And you don't even try to argue with me on this. I mean, it's not even close. But that's exactly
pretty. I'm looking at Velma. That's a very short skirt, though, and she looks pretty stacked. I don't know, man.
She's not stacked. She's garbage. She's a pile of garbage. Listen.
Wow.
She's not even remotely attractive on any standard.
The freckles, the weird hair, and the glasses. It's.
I don't care what she's wearing. I don't care. And those big orange socks, massive turnoff. But here's the thing. Because the skirt is so short, they take that outfit and they turn it into, like, if you put a hot girl in that outfit,
correct,
and you tighten up the turtleneck, of course, and they have nice sweater meat, they're gonna look hot. But Velma is not hot. And I'm tired of trying to make Velma look hot. Like in all these reboots of Scooby-Doo, she's always like a few degrees hotter. No, it's not supposed to be a hot character.
Yeah, Daphne is supposed to be the hot one, for sure.
Daphne's supposed to be the hot character. So I hate this sexualization of Velma. First of all, it's gross. That's number one. Aren't these teenagers? But the other thing is,
sure, yeah, I guess so. I guess
maybe they're young adults. I don't know what the fuck they are. Fred looks like he's about 37.
I was gonna say, yeah, he might be canceled. I don't know if he should be hanging around. Is
Fred canceled?
Fred might be canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, canceling Fred
all right,
and the ascot.
Okay, this is apparently according to Screen Rants, so I don't know if this is true. All right, Fred and Shaggy are both 17. Daphne is 16, and Velma is 15.
Yeah, they're children.
Scooby is meant to be 7, but nobody asked how old Scooby was. It's fine.
We
don't
dog.
care. Yeah, we don't care. We don't care how old Scooby is. But so Fred and Shaggy 17, Daphne 16, Velma 15 are the official ages.
Yeah. Listen, Velma.
So you're right. Why are we sexualizing a 15? Yikes, everybody. Yikes, Jordan Grace.
All of you.
Yeah, yikes, Jordan Grace.
Every one of you. Okay? But setting all that aside, okay? It's Velma is not meant to be attractive or sexy. Okay. So I can't stand it. But the thing is, I think her outfit is more conducive to doing like a slutty Halloween look than Daphne's is.
Right.
You could sex up Daphne's look too if you wanted to. I just think, maybe that's just too like chalk for people to think like, well, she's supposed to be sexy. That's boring. Like I think
the outfit's a little tougher. I think the outfit's a little tougher to pull off the Daphne. I think it's a lot easier to do the Velma because all you need is a turtleneck, a short skirt, high socks, and some dopey glasses, and you're good to go.
I've never been a high sock guy. Doesn't do it for me. The high like those high orange socks would be an immediate. What do the kids say today? That's an instant ick from me. I don't want the high orange socks. I can't get into that. Like now you're gonna give me a stocking or a fishnet. Now we're talking. There's nothing I like more than a slightly torn fishnet. That's my jam. Now you're talking like knee-high orange socks. I don't want nothing to do with that. No, that's just it grosses me out. The whole Velma thing grosses me out. I've been over this.
Well, you're actually on the right side of history because she's only supposed to be 15. So you are actually the only normal person here. Everybody else,
that's right,
is a big yikes to all of you.
Yeah.
And the power dynamic issues with Fred and because they're 2 years older than them and controlling them. So
God.
It's a lot of
just cancel everybody.
lot of dynamic issues in that.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
The two males are 2 years older than everybody else and running the show basically. Woo. Not me though. I never liked Scooby Doo. I'll tell you that.
No.
That's why I watched Muppet Babies instead because there's no.
We were always on the right side of Scooby Doo and Joey Ryan.
We were. Yes, we were.
You can't tell us that we weren't. So.
Always.
Scooby-Doo and Joey Ryan.
God, those wars, those Joey Ryan wars. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think it's that cool that he makes women touch his dick. And everyone's like, no, it is. It's progressive. And I was like, okay, I don't know. All right, sure.
No, they weren't like, no, they were like canceling us because we didn't like Joey Ryan.
Like, no, it's good actually that he forces women to grab his dick on every show he goes to. And I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, okay, boomer. You don't know anything about progressive. Like, that's that's the kind of shit that we would get. It's 2014, boom, or whatever year it was. They were pretty brutal about it.
We also were on the right side of history of Chris Dickinson braining women with chairs constantly, and we were like, I don't know, it feels a little weird.
It was always a little weird. It was always a little weird.
Like, no, it's good actually that he gave Kimberly like brain damage with the chair shot. It's very progressive, and we're like, I don't know. I don't know if I love it. So.
What is Kimberly a delicate flower because she's a woman? Yeah. Why can't a woman fight him? I'm like, I don't know. I just think it's a little.
I just think her brain is bleeding now because he's hitting her with a chair very hard. So I don't know. I just don't.
You don't see how he's extra aggressive with these women. You don't think this is a little weird?
Nope.
And again, we got canceled, not him. How'd that turn out? Turn out?
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that Jordan Grace as Velma, I don't know. I can't explain why. It just was very fitting. I feel like she would totally do the Velma thing. Ren Sinclair. I have been staring at Ren Sinclair's face for many years now because she reminds me of someone, and I finally placed it.
Okay, interesting.
I finally placed
all right, what do you got?
Who Ren Sinclair looks like. It's a deep cut. I think everyone will be headed to the Google machine immediately.
I'm there already. Let's go.
She looks like obscure McDonald's character Mac Tonight.
I know Mac Tonight. Yeah, of course. I know.
And
he does look like Mac Tonight.
I have been struggling trying to think of who she looks like and who she reminds me of for years. And I was watching this NXT show, and she's doing a backstage gimmick with, whoever the fuck. Who's the example you always use of the generic NXT with Izzy? Let's say it was Izzy Dame.
Was it Izzy Dame?
Back, I don't know. Probably not. It doesn't matter.
No,
Rich doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
So she's in the back talking to like Izzy Dame or something, and I'm like, she reminds me. For years, I've been trying to place this, and it's Mac Tonight. She looks like Mac Tonight. It's crazy. And then I was like, it's Mac Tonight. That's it. And it just came to me. It just popped in my brain. So I also had that on my notes. But all these notes are going to waste because you didn't watch the show.
I feel like they're not going to waste. I feel like they're doing quite well here. So yeah, good. I love the Mac Tonight reference. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That was during McDonald's very weird marketing. They had a weird run of marketing there for a while. Mac Tonight is very bizarre. Very bizarre.
Yeah, well, he did it to the song "Mac the Knife" by Bobby Darin, right. and
just a lot of layers. Like, there's way too many layers. Just like fucking sell some hamburgers, guys. Like, what are you doing here? Like, what?
Well, it's a Big Mac, Big Mac.
No, I know, but there was too many layers. I'm saying, like, somebody sounded a really good idea in a boardroom, but it was like, okay, how many? Like, there's a lot going on here. Just fucking show a Big Mac and sell it, and come up with a little jingle. But I appreciate the effort.
Ren Sinclair, the former Maddie Rinkowski, I believe. Right? Yeah. Which is where the Ren came from. Very good comedic timing. On Ren Sinclair. I do have to add that in my notes too.
Good faces. She makes very, very good NXT faces. She definitely is going to work in that company because of that.
Yeah. She was destined to be in NXT, but she always exhibits very good comedic timing, and it really stands out in a promotion where nobody else has good comedic timing at all, and they're all terrible, and it comes off like community theater. So she really stands out because she's the only one who does a decent job in that regard. So she really jumps off the page. I almost think she's too good for wrestling. I almost think she should just like get into improv or something and stop taking bumps. But yeah, I don't know. I had all these great notes, and I did hand wave. I had enough of I stuck with the puppet match. I hate starting sentences like that on the show, but
why? Why do we have to do this? Why do you have to start that sentence on this professional wrestling podcast?
I know. So
I started the puppet match like that. The idea, like that. What are we doing?
I know.
Stan Hansen, Dr. Death. Like, what happened?
I don't know. So
Junichiro Tenryu.
I stuck with the puppet match after Javon Evans and names escaping me, Leon Slater were tossing the puppet back and forth to each other because they were scared of it, like it was a living sentient being.
This is the iguana.
This is Mr. Iguana and La Parka versus Javon
okay. No, I'm saying
Evans
the puppet is the iguana.
Iguana, yeah.
Okay,
well, okay. Let me clarify. In this case, it's a stuffed animal.
Correct. He's not technically a puppet. He's a stuffed animal. Yeah.
But I'm including him in the puppet world. I think that's fair. I think
he's puppet adjacent. It's puppet adjacent enough that we
definitely
can
puppet adjacent. Right. He puts it on his hand and makes it talk and stuff. It's a lot like Mr. Sacco, which I also consider it puppet adjacent.
Which was funny too. Which is funny because recently, like, you've been doing your puppet rant. Someone's like, "Well, what about Mr. Sacco?" And it's like, yeah, of course, you and I loved Mr. Sacco. Oh no, you're right. It's like the Undertaker thing. Well, what about the Undertaker? Oh, the guy that we constantly bury and talk about how much we hated. People are like, well, what about Mr. Sacco? Oh yeah, you got us. We loved Mr. Sacco. So.
Yeah, Joe Lanza.
Right. Oh, you're Joe right. Lanza. I loved Mr. Sacco. I'm sorry.
I couldn't get enough of Mr. Sacco.
You're such a fucking hypocrite because you loved Mr. Sacco.
How many flagships would you have to listen to before you would to think that what I would think of Mr. Sacco? Maybe half a flagship.
Maybe an hour of one flagship. I think would do it.
So anyway, he treats the stuffed animal like a puppet. So I'm considering this a puppet.
Verb says he has a hole in the hand, or a hole for the hand, so that would technically make him a puppet.
Yeah, he does. He makes it. He
right. So I think we could call Yeska a puppet for sure.
Yeah, he sticks it up the fucking iguana's ass and he puts it on his arm and he does bits. It's a puppet, right? So they're tossing the puppet back and forth like it's a living sentient being. And I was like, where's the remote? I promised what was my promise to myself in this audience, Rich Craig?
You just you won't do no more puppet matches. Yeah.
No more puppets. I don't care if it's the main event of fucking WrestleMania. I don't care if it's fucking we're back in Wembley and Will Ospreay busts out a puppet. I'm not doing it anymore. Okay? And don't discard that possibility. But
the main event of a WrestleMania, I really the will with a puppet is it feels like a pretty big bridge to get, but the main event of WrestleMania featuring a puppet does not feel that crazy.
I gotta be honest, I don't think any of these are a bridge too far anymore in this version of the wrestling business. I don't. I really don't. But anyway, I stuck with it for a very good reason. I couldn't find my slim black television remote to fast forward the app. So I was like, all right, I'll stick with it. Then about 5 minutes later, they're doing another bit with the puppet with the referee. And I said, all right, I have to rip apart this room to find the remote because I can't sit through another second.
I'll just unplug the TV.
Yeah. So I found the remote and that was it. So I did not watch the entirety of Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Russell Parka, and Mr. Iguana. I can't fucking take it anymore. I won't do it. I won't subject myself to it. Luckily, Ethan Page and Wagner 3 brought me back and just had a kick-ass wrestling match where they just hated each other and tried to beat each other up, which is now like the exception to the rule in pro wrestling as opposed to the norm. So anyway, that's you didn't watch, and all these great notes are just going to waste.
Well, darn.
It's fine. I mean,
maybe next time.
Maybe. I mean, are you hand waving forever, or what are we doing here?
I think so. For a while.
Okay. Well, as you can see, I still shoehorned in an NXT review, and the listeners deserve it.
I disagree.
You can't listen. You can't.
We have very nice listeners, and you subjecting them to NXT reviews is not a good way to reward their listenership. But anyway, yeah.
Sure. It was the big show of the week.
It sadly was the big show of the week. And that is why I did briefly consider watching it. So I do admit that it probably was the big show of the week. Because it was a very light week.
It was the Paul White of the week. That's what it was. And I don't think it could go ignored, even though I didn't watch the main event, which is kind of weird. Kind of ignored the most important match on the show, but I just didn't get to it. Ran out of time.
I was going to say, who didn't think it was a big show of the weekend was the folks of Prescott Valley, Arizona, because they only sold 2,595 tickets.
It's not a great
to
house.
This show at the Finlay Toyota Center.
Yeah, not the best house. This is certainly not the NXT takeovers of old. They're filling basketball arenas for Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole. Doing their version of community theater matches. So, this has been a trend. This has been a trend for NXT for some time now. So, Chef Michaels, that's the booker of the year, Rich Craig.
Cooking.
Chef Michaels, listen, when you could take a territory from drawing 10,000 for their biggest shows to drawing 2,000 for their biggest shows, you get memes and chef hats, and you get filibustered for Booker of the Year. So that's how that works in today's wrestling. Do people even cite Chef Michaels anymore? I think everyone's kind of off that train.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of sees what's going on and doesn't.
We're kind of beating a dead horse with that because I don't think anybody likes NXT at this point.
Yeah, even the most ardent supporters, your Brian Alvarez's of the world, even they're kind of out on it. So yeah, I don't know if there's a dyed-in-the-wool NXT fan right now that's like, oh no, I'm telling you, it's maybe if you're a Ricky Saints super fan or whatever you might be, but I don't know if anybody else. Judging by those numbers they've done recently, not gone, and the fact that they had to call them WWE shows and try to trick people into thinking that you're buying a ticket to a WWE show, and that hasn't worked either. That strategy has never worked at all because the fans are at least smart enough to know this is not an actual WWE show. This is an NXT show.
Well, Vic Joseph in the opening match even slipped out and he's like, Leon Slater working his first WWE PLE. He's very excited about that. Oh, yeah, he is, Vic. Yeah, he is, Vic.
It's the big time, Vic. It's the big time.
Yeah, that's his first one, Vic. I mean, Booker T, he's so bad that he's good. He just circles
I agree.
all
I've always found his brand of commentary absolutely hilarious.
He just does no prep at all. He doesn't know. He doesn't know who half the people are. He just, he just shows up and talks a bunch of nonsense with that exaggerated voice, and he's just so awful.
It's so great. And Vic, for a while, I think Vic was pissed about it, but now I think Vic has understood that this is his lot in life. Because there was a couple years ago where when he first got paired with Booker, you could tell he was like, this guy doesn't know anything. I got to carry all this. Booker's not even trying to watch the product or know what's going on.
To know anything, he doesn't even try. Yeah,
because Booker would be like, "I think that's a bad move," and he's like, "You just said it was a good move 2 minutes ago," and he's like, Vic, you don't know what it's like," and it's just like it'd be ridiculous. And Vic, you could sense Vic getting upset. He's like, "I am just doing commentary with an absolute buffoon," but I think he's leaned into it. Now he just realizes and he understands it. He's like, "All right, I'm doing commentary with an absolute buffoon. It's fine. Lean into it. Have fun with it. It's okay. Who cares?" So
right. The audience doesn't. Our audience are absolute imbeciles. They don't know the difference.
They're closer to Booker than they are me. So you know what? It's fine.
Right. Yeah.
It's fine.
So it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I think that's exactly the mindset. So, and Vic is just a WWE commentator robot anyway. It's not like he's Gordon Soley on the mic. I mean, he's just there's nothing special.
Yeah,
about
absolute replacement level. He's one of the assembly line guys that they've had for years and years and years and years.
It. Yeah. And every time they get rid of one of those guys, they're always like, "Oh God, thank God! Now I could go call my soccer matches or basketball games like a normal human again," because and not like a WWE factory setting robot.
Mm-hmm. Although people always do the thing where they get really upset. They do this for the backstage commentators too. Like when insert random blonde woman gets fired, they're like, "Oh, she was great. Oh, that's going to be a huge loss." And it's like, no, it's not. The next they're going to insert another hot blonde woman, and she's going to go, "My guess at this time, da 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 da."
Yeah.
What is your motivation going into the match? And then the person talks, and then she stares off. It's fine. I think they're going to replace her just okay, guys. And they always do that too. When any one of these guys gets fired, it's like, "Oh, I don't know. Vic Joseph was doing a very good job," and then a new guy comes, and then nobody gives a fuck about who.
It's the same, and they're exactly the same. I can't tell you how many times those interview women got fired, and I was like, "Who?"
Right.
And then they'll be like, "She was there 7 years," and I'm like, "Really?" That's just how tuned out I am when those segments come on.
Right.
There's no reason to pay attention to that person. They're not doing anything unique. They're taught to not have a personality. It's not even their fault. They're trained to have no personality.
Right. So I always find it funny when people are like, "Oh, she was really good. They're going to really miss her." And it's like, are
what
they?
Was good?
What did she do that was good? Oh, Kathy Kelly. Oh, no, I don't know. They're really going to miss Kathy Kelly. And it's like, well, then they brought her back. Who cares? Who fucking cares? It's Kathy Kelly.
Is she back? I don't even know. Does she work
back
there?
Yeah, she left, and then she came back, and it was like, "Oh, thank God they brought Kathy Kelly back." It's like, why? Who cares?
All right.
You really are that invested in the interview robot? Okay, all right, that's fine.
I think it's like, look, we talk about it all the time. WWE fans, very much like Disney adults, they're invested in all of it. If you're on screen in this company, they're invested in you. Like you're part of their special little universe, unless you're Top Dollar. He's like the only one where they're like, "Oh."
They're like, "Yeah, that's fine. They can release it. Nobody cares."
That guy's terrible. He's the only guy where on Twitter, if he'd come on Raw, it would turn into all complaints during his segment. He's the only one. Anyone else in that company, right down to the interview robots, they're all cooking. It's all fire. It's all, on and popping like NXT was for a while there with the splatter paint. So off the hook. But I don't know. That was NXT, which Rich didn't watch.
No.
By the way, Rich didn't watch AAA either. I don't know what the hell he did all week. But he and here's the funny thing. Rich, I'm going to pick on Rich.
I have it on now, by the way, but I'm watching with the sound off.
You can't watch and do the show. It doesn't work.
All I'm saying, am I correct in that I just saw Monster Clown jump in the ring here?
Well,
with Dave?
if if you slapped play when the podcast started, you probably haven't even seen a match yet. Because
No.
Ceremony. They did.
I got through the Lola voice and Chick Tormenta, and now I'm watching the clowns put each other through tables. So.
Yeah, there was a lot. Monster may have come out because there was a lot of clowns.
I think Dave the Clown and Monster Clown, and I forget the other one, all came out.
Monster Clown, Dave the Clown. So Rich didn't watch that either. And what's funny about that is today he sent me a reminder to watch it, and then he didn't even watch it himself. He's like, "Listen, don't forget they put AAA up." And it was like I was aware it was up, and I was like, "Yeah, all right, I guess I'll watch it then." And it was, and I banged it out. And then he's like, he comes on with me tonight. He's like, I didn't watch AAA. Did you watch AAA? I'm like, I'm thinking this fucker sent me the fucking file to watch AAA, and then he didn't even watch
my
it.
exact message for the record is, I guess this show is just on their YouTube now. If I get a chance, I may watch some of it.
It's been on there for 4 days, sir. It's been on there for 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days.
I just found out about it. So.
You're all wrapped up in those 5-0 bowls is what it is.
That's the problem. It really is a problem. Yeah, you told me to get that league pass, and I'll tell you, my nights have just been... You told me to get that TV league pass, and it's been great because I'm like, yeah, I'll watch the Pelicans. Why not? I'm like, I'm not watching any of the national TV games. I've watched 3 full Hornets games. Like, why am I watching the Charlotte Hornets? Well, why not? Because I usually don't get to watch the Charlotte Hornets. So I'm like, yeah, you know what?
When you get the league pass, what you find is you never turn on the national games anymore.
No, it was like Lakers.
Games,
I forget what the game. I was like Lakers Wolves yesterday. And I think a bunch of guys were out anyway, but I was never going to turn that on. I was like, no, are you kidding me? Like
those become uncool.
Yeah,
you want to watch like the Kings or something.
I've watched a lot of Kings games at night too. Yeah,
it's that's what happens when you have the league pass. So on DirecTV they have this multi-screen mosaic where all the games are on the screen at once, right? And then you can move the cursor around to get the audio of the one you want to zero in on. So they have that for baseball too. So anyway, I'll have that on at night as background noise while I'm fucking around on the laptop or doing something else. And the boy will come in the room, and he likes basketball. So he'll sit in the room with me when I have all those games up. But what I discovered the other day is it's a gimmick. You know what he's doing? Because there's like 8 games on the screen at once, he's waiting for teams to score a 67th point. And then he does the gimmick.
Good Lord.
And then he chuckles and runs out of the room to tell his sister about how he owned me by when the fucking when the Grizzlies hit 67 and he did the gimmick. So they find a way to get you.
It's the word of the year.
To
our full descent into just full-on barbarian a state of our world is 67 is the word of the year.
Well, see, that what's going to happen is it's going to be uncool because adults are acknowledging
Yes, which is great,
so
which is the best thing we can do is just immediately co-opt it and have it on the news. You need to walk up to him and do it. Like we got to get it out of here. We got to filter this out quickly, which I do sort of regret, or I say I do feel bad for the youth because back in our day, your day, my day, whatever, our days, we were able to have something and our parents would just look at us like we were idiots and just say, shut up, like that's annoying or whatever. But they wouldn't learn it. They would just assume this is stupid. Kids just say this stuff. The problem is now, like adults try to co-opt it. And it's part of like I'm a good parent, so I'm going to learn what this 6'7" is, and I'll do it with him, and we'll record videos where we do it. Yeah. And my God, how could you? Yeah. It's just making kids want to get away from it as quickly as possible. Or whatever dumb shit I said as a kid, my dad was never going to say, "Well, tell me more about that. What's the origins of that? That's really cool." He would just slap me on the head and be like, "That's stupid. Stop saying that. You sound like an idiot."
Right.
But that would make me continue to do it and want to do it because I'm like, "Oh, we have it, and the parents don't know about it or whatever." But now that the parents are so easily co-opting it, and now it becomes a part of the news and Time magazine's like, no, it's the word of the year. Like it just ensures, and these poor kids have to move on to another thing. I mean, for God's sakes, they constantly have to move on to another thing. I do feel a little bad for them.
Every generation parents differently, and you usually swing. It's like a pendulum, like anything else. You swing complete opposite of how your parents raised you, right? So millennials were raised by the boomers, and the boomers had a very certain kind of way to raise their kids, and then millennials complete these millennials are like super coddling and super hovering on their kids, super, and so that's why they want to, like you're saying, They want to, and it's
they embrace the memes and like, oh, let's do videos where we do it together, and it's like, oh god, yeah.
And that's what's going to kill it, though. That will kill
like dabbing. Remember, like dabbing, like the kids had it, and then like every fucking parent in the world was doing it, and it's like, fuck, we can't do that anymore. We're done. It's out. We got to find another. Like they have to find other things at such rapid pace.
They do. Because before dabbing, it was oh shit! What was the dance with the legs, arms over the legs?
I know what you're talking about.
Flossing.
Oh, the kids only had like 3 weeks to floss, and then everybody figured it out, and it was over.
Everyone was flossing. There was that video of Ted dancing flossing on Twitter. Like
it's over. When Becker's flossing, it's fucking over. Like you're done.
Exactly. It's finished. Done. Flossing had such a short shelf life. And you're right. Dabbing is another one, totally uncool. So that 6'7" will go the way of that. I as I've already stated many times, we will know 6'7" is officially dead when Kyle O'Reilly does it to Hook. and it's coming. We all know it's coming. Okay. That's going to be a bit that they do on Dynamite. We know that people who are involved in Dynamite listen to this show. So they're jotting that fucker down, and Kyle O'Reilly is gonna 6'7" Hook. Hook is gonna look at him like he's a fucking weirdo, and that's gonna be a whole bit leading into one of their matches. And then Kyle's gonna come down to his sitcom theme and his little sitcom entrance video, and probably incorporate the 6'7" into the match somehow as well. Like he'll 6'7" right before the bell, And then Hook will just viciously attack him or something. Right. That's coming.
And Orange Cassidy will eat a potato chip, and it'll be hilarity will ensue. Yeah.
Maybe Orange Cassidy will do it too, but he'll do it very unenthusiastic. He'll say 6'7" and slowly move his hands up and down. And it'll be hilarious.
I don't get it. And they're unbelievable.
Oh my god! As someone points out, the 10 punches in the corner. That's it, Rich. When they do the 10, O'Reilly's gonna put him in the corner.
Jeremy, thank you. Because what's gonna happen is it's gonna happen soon, and then we can get it done with it.
And then we can be over with it.
Let's do it this week and get over it.
Yes. Yeah. I will show that to my kids, and they will never do it again because they did it on Daddy's thing that he does for work, and that'll be the end of any cool factor it ever had.
Thank God. And we can move on to something else. Yeah.
So whoever's listening, pitch that because cool Kyle will be all into that.
Oh, absolutely.
He'll love that idea. I mean, and he's the guy, by the way.
Absolutely. He thinks he's cool and thinks he's funny, is not cool, is not funny. It'd be perfect. Yeah.
The energy is perfect for Kyle O'Reilly to do the 6'7", thinking, it has to be him. There's no one else on the roster it can be. I don't want to hear Max Caster. I don't want to hear Hook himself. It's not the right energy for Hook. Hook is the age, but he doesn't think it's cool. Like Hook is not the kind of guy that would do a 6'7". Kyle O'Reilly is the perfect energy. He's the guy that's way too old.
Right, he's the dad that wants to be cool to his kids, so he does it, and he films a TikTok with his kids doing it, and then his kids do it with him, and then they realize, I really hate that dad knows what that is, and then like 2 weeks later, they don't do it ever again.
I don't want to hear Harley Cameron. It's not the right. He's the perfect energy. It's Kyle O'Reilly.
He's got strong suburban dad energy, and that he's exactly the type of person that needs to do it.
Well, someone says he's the perfect, but he's so unhip he won't know about it. But that's the point. When he finally knows about it, that's how we know it's over.
Yeah, but it could be a while. It could be given how AEW brings in mainstream people these days. It could take a long time, but I don't think so. I think this one has broken so much containment so quickly that I think even AEW knows about it now.
Yeah, all the mainstream people, like the guy who designs the jackets, and Trina, who was mainstream 17 years ago, and
the Costco guys 11 months after their peak. It's
how many truly mainstream stars have they? Shaq, Mike Tyson.
Okay, 2020 for both of those. Any recent examples you got for me?
No, but I mean, in their history, those are the only relevant celebrities.
Yeah.
The others are all extremely low level. Right. We might be forgetting some.
West Side Gun and the crew, and the Griselda.
Where are you on Rick Ross? Now,
Rick Ross.
Hold on. Before you answer, set aside that you think he's cool. Is he relevant today?
No. They missed the Rick Ross peak by 11 or 12 years.
Okay, see, that's my point.
Right.
So they don't really hit on all right, fucking the guy that does all the wrestling promotions. What do you think of him? He's in a current relevant actor, but he's not.
Are you talking about Paul Walter Hauser?
Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah, but nobody gives a fuck about Paul Walter Hauser. Wrestling fans pretend that people care about Paul Walter Hauser, but then nobody ever actually cares about Paul Walter Hauser.
Go through some of these ones in the chat. How about Action Bronson? Was he relevant?
They missed the peak on Action Bronson too by a couple years.
I might give him Action Bronson. I might give him that one. Was he totally uncool by then? Or
he wasn't totally uncool, but they missed the Bronson peak. But he was also not that big of it. Like if you're like a ardent hip hop fan, or you watch Vice or whatever, because he used to have a show on Vice. Like you got to be a little. Yeah. I don't know. Like Action Bronson doesn't pass the mom test at all. Like Bronson. nobody, not many people know who Action Bronson is. The TLB does not know who Action Bronson is.
You want me to ask her?
Yeah, fine. Is she around?
I'll just text her. This is modern technology, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
All right. Do you know who Action? I'm going to put it in quotes too. Action Bronson is. Just a yes or no will suffice. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. I think they missed the Bronson peak by about 3 or 4 years or so.
All right, let's see. Now, here's the thing. Her phone will be literally 6 inches from her, and she might not answer until for 2.5 hours because that's how she rolls.
Okay,
so
one of those. Yeah,
we'll see. She just doesn't see it. Like she's one of these people who's oblivious to their phone. Like just.
I wish that's a nice way to live. Good for her. Snoop Dogg they had, but he's in. I think he lasts forever. I think there's always a Snoop Dogg peak. There's no
Snoop Dogg. No. Listen, that's a winner for sure. That's a legitimate.
Short Smith and Remy, Master P. Remember they brought Master P on to talk about the University of New Orleans NIL fund. Yeah, they missed the Master P peak by about 19 years.
Master P. WCW missed the Master P peak.
Right. Yeah, WCW was 2 years late to Master P.
She gave a simple answer. No.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say.
She
had no idea who Action Bronson
and she
is.
listens to the rap.
Right, but he's not like he's not radio rap. I know him. He's the rap that I listen to.
Right. She's not going to know. Yeah. Okay, I got you. She wouldn't know him by listening to Candy 95 here in Bryan College Station. She would.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting spun on Candy 95. No.
Okay. So that makes sense.
No.
That makes sense. Well, she has the new car now. She's got the free Sirius, so she's all over
the free. Was it 3 months? 3 months of free Sirius?
I don't know, and it's only like 8 channels too. It's like 8 of the most popular channels that are free. I don't know how long she gets them, but
she gets TikTok radio, I'm sure, and
no, it's 70s, 80s, 90s, and then today's hits. Those are 4. There's the Beatles channel. 2 country channels, which is a little weird, and some like news channel, or something. So they're very basic. So
they don't give you the full preview anymore.
She didn't.
Oh, that's a bad move by Sirius. That's true.
They give you like 8 channels, but here's the thing: I don't know if that's a preview or she just gets those 8 channels like in perpetuity. That I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know if those are just. And our salesman was like out of this, like in another planet, and I didn't even deal with him. I just like. Oh,
I forgot you had a conquest. You had a conquest last week, and how'd that go?
I did have a conquest. Nothing happens until I get the sales manager in the room. You know that. I can't deal with these salesmen. I cut another amazing deal. What do you think happens?
You owned him. You won.
Totally.
You winning, kid, or what?
We won. Yeah, we walked. Yeah, we walked away. You got to be able to walk away, and then and then they called, and then we went back, and the guy had to come back from his home to finish the deal.
Wow! Whoa!
Yeah,
all right.
It was. Yeah, we got a great deal. Great deal.
They called you, and then he came back from home.
Well, okay. So we got
that is a conquest. Yeah, please tell me.
The typical dance where I rejected like the first 6 offers, right? And then I finally got that.
I'm amazed they don't just tell you to go fuck yourself. I cannot imagine that every car.
This is how you have to do it.
I can't imagine they live and die by this one car sale that they would waste that much time on you.
I even worked in that's not going to work for me, brother, on one of them. You would have been real. That's
good work. Right? That's good work. Yeah. And you have a little bit of stubble too. Should you kind of rub the stubble? A little loud stubble rub.
First of all, listen, he handed over that first offer, and everyone knows that one's a joke, right? Or maybe not. A lot of people actually signed that one. And then he starts reading off like this, all the extra gimmicks. Like, and we're going to give you this GPS security system with the blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, listen, we don't want any of that. Put that right back in your file cabinet. And TLB loves this. It makes her horny when I'm in here making these deals.
Getting all hot and bothered by your.
She's like, every time
as
they leave
you are
the room,
too, as you're erect.
every time the guy leaves the room to go get a new deal, she's like, this turns me on. So this is so hot. She's like, you are so hot when you do this. I'm like, yeah, So, by the fourth or fifth offer that I've soundly rejected, finally they bring in the sales manager. This is how it happens every time. And then now at Mazda, they already know, and I just start with the sales manager. Like they already.
Todd just walks away immediately.
Not Todd. His name is His name is Travis, and he knows me.
That's right. Yeah.
He sees me. He shoos away the salesman, and he's like, "I got this one." He's like, because he knows he has to start with like a real deal first. He doesn't even play the game with me. Travis over at Mazda. So anyway, he goes and gets the sales manager, and I get, this is how you know you're finally getting close to getting a good deal for you, the consumer. When the sales manager stands at the desk with his palms flat on the desk,
oh, man.
Standing.
Wow. Okay.
Leaning over, and whenever they say the following words, Mr. Lanza, you tell me what we have to do to get your business today. When you hear that, now it's time to negotiate. Anything before that was garbage. Anything before that was, they are robbing you blind. And let me tell you something. No matter how nice you think these salesmen are, and they might be nice men, no matter how nice you think no matter how well they treat you, no matter how many free bottled waters they give you and how many pats on the head they give your kids, they will fucking rob you blind. Don't ever forget that when you're in there. Because they are putting food on their table. They are feeding their families. And if they can get you to sign a shit deal, they'll take it. They will rob you blind. You have to view them as the enemy. So once you hear that, what do we have to do to get your business? Now you rub those hands together because now we're talking. And then I point everything out. I'm like, first of all, this trade-in value is a joke. They started with a $2,000 trade-in value for this car. Now, that's
a pretty new car, right? That's getting traded in.
I already knew that the trade-in value was closer to $7,000. And I told them that. I said,
$2,000 trade. That's rough. I said,
listen,
I got $2,000 for my car, and it was on death's door when I traded that thing in.
So this is what you do. I told them, I said, look, we were just down at Kia, and they offered me $7,200 for the trade-in. And I turned to my wife. Remember, we were just at Kia. What'd they offer me? $7,200. We never went to Kia. We never went anywhere near. We didn't go to Kia.
You know what you can do?
I turn to the wife and say that.
You know what you can do? You can go to CarMax now. We'll let you do. They'll give you an offer on a car. All you have to do is take pictures of the car, and online they'll give you an offer. And that actually helped me in my last negotiation for a car, because then I brought that printed out thing, and they gave me some offer for the trade, and I was like, well, CarMax is going to give me, and it was like quadruple what they were going to give me, and and they're like, oh, we'll match it. That's fine. I'm like, yeah, there you go. Like,
that'll work too. Yeah. See, that'll work too. I like the old school though.
Just a lie,
like
just a straight up fucking lie. Yeah. And we were at Kia across the street, and they said.
Right, and then I turned to her again, and she
they don't
knows
want
her role.
Don't want Kia getting that deal. No.
She knows her role is to sit there and nod her head at anything I say, because we talk about this before we go in. So then I'll turn to her and I'll say, you know what? Forget it. We'll just sell the car ourselves. We'll sell it ourselves. I do that whole song and dance. So when it finally comes down to the flat palms on the desk, that's when I say,
does he roll the sleeves up too? Does he take the sport coat off and or just palms?
No, this is not a sport coat guy. The sales manager is always like a cool guy.
Oh, okay. He's the cool guy. Okay.
So at this point, I'm like, listen, they've increased the trade-in.
How many buttons? How many buttons down on the shirt?
I don't remember. So
at least two, I think.
They've increased the trade-in at this point to like 3,000 or 4,000, which still isn't good enough. So then that's when you can really tell them. You can say, look, this trade-in has to be at least $6,000, because that's what we were expecting. I can't do a deal unless you're giving me $6,000 for this trade-in, because that's the amount of money that we've set aside based on the value of the car we're purchasing. I also need you to take off this sales pitch GPS security system that you tried to sell me. I have no interest in it and don't want it. And you're just adding $2,800 to the car. I don't want that. Okay. And I said, I also want your $5,000 rebate that you advertised online. I don't care if it's just for veterans and students. we're only here because we saw that $5,000 rebate. And if you're telling me I can't have it, then we're going to pack up.
Stolen valor. Yikes.
So what did they do? They came back with another offer with $6,000 for the trade-in, and they put down the $5,000 rebate. That's $11,000 off the car. That's $11,000 off the bottom line price of the car right there, simply by just being a pain in the ass and be willing to spend 4 or 5 hours there. You save $11,000 off of whatever you're financing. Okay, so this is how you have to handle these guys. They will rob you blind. They have no morals. They don't care. They don't care about you. They're feeding their own family. So he gives us the one final offer. He sits us down in the lobby now. He's got us in the lobby because we're halfway out the door. Okay. So
you're by the coffee machine. You're by the service department in the coffee machine. Yeah,
we're like walking out. Yeah, we're out. We got 1 foot out the door. They brought around this is a Nissan now. So they brought around the what the fuck is I don't even know the car she bought. Nissan
Murano.
Yes,
I don't know.
No. Well, the Murano was the one she didn't buy. The Pathfinder. So they bring the Pathfinder around and they bring the Murano around, and they ask her to sit in both of them again because they think we're gonna fall in love with it and just sign the paper because that's what people do, right? So they're like, oh, bring them around again, bring over the SE model, all this shit. And then we go and have our little chat, and I was like, what are you feeling in your soul? She's like, I don't love it, and I want to love it. I'm like, well, then we're walking away. And then as we're walking away, he comes out with the one final piece of paper, right? He goes, I can only do this deal if you sign it now, is what he says, right? He goes, I pulled some strings with the financer, and I got you a rate, and I got you a deal, but it was a favor. And if you don't do this now, you can't come back this is on Saturday. You can't come back on Monday because I'm not going to be able to get this deal again. Again, this is all load bullshit. This is the things they say, right? So I look at it. I really sell it, Rich. I'm rubbing the back of my neck. I'm
Mr.
making
Kennedy, you're Mr. Anderson / Mr. Kennedy
Mr.
style.
Anderson with Tito Ortiz. I'm rubbing the back of my neck.
August 1 warning.
I'm making faces. I'm whispering things to my wife that aren't even real words, right? I'm selling it. And then I said, you know what? I'm sorry. We just can't do it. And I hand it back to him. And he takes that paper and he folds it in half and does like the thing with his fingers across the fold to tighten the fold. You know what I'm talking about? He slides his hand across, and you could tell he is so gotten to. This guy is pissed, but he can't show it. But you can tell he's gritting his teeth going, all right, well, we close at 6. So this is it. I don't know if I can make this offer Monday. And we walk away. He was so gotten to that my 8-year-old child said to me, Dad, I think that guy was mad. I'm like, yeah, he was mad.
He's mad as fuck.
Because he spent 6 fucking hours trying to sell us this car, and he gave me his literal final offer, and we walked away. So then we really did go to Kia, and we drove the Kia, and my wife hated it. And but then after she drove the Kia, we got in the car, and she's like, I want the Pathfinder. I just had to know that the Kia wasn't right for me. I want the Pathfinder. She's like, make it happen. Make it happen, Daddy. And I was like, yeah, you know what? That's what I do. I make things happen. So I got on the phone with the salesman, and I said, you know what? We reconsidered. You know what? I think if you do this and this couple, you try to get a couple more adjustments out of it, of course. Like, we'll take the deal. And he's like, all right, I'll be back at the dealership in 20 minutes. I mean, I was like, where'd you go? He's like, I went home for the day. He's like, he
was trying to have dinner with the wife, and he was just livid. He's just picking at his food, and she's like, honey, what's wrong? And he's like, you're the topic of conversation. And the wife is like, all right, well, work was work, but now it's our time. And he just can't focus. He's staring in the distance. He's throwing his fork just gets thrown down. It's just,
he was a really nice, Joshua, I think his name was, he's a really nice guy.
But once he got home, he was not happy about it. He wasn't happy about it.
Well, and then he's like, I was like, I don't mean to put you out. I mean, can someone else just? He's like, no, this is what we do. I'll be back, because he wanted that. Cause he knew he wouldn't get the taste if he didn't come back. So he came back. We beat him there, and then we closed the deal. And I know he was hot about coming back, because the first thing he did when he set his laptop back up, because he had to unpack all his shit again out of his bag.
Poor Joshua.
he connected with the USB, and he put the Texas game on his big computer because he went home to watch the football. He went home to watch Texas, and they went to overtime.
Oh, I forget you're in football country. I forget about that. Yeah.
So he was watching the Longhorn game. So he put that back. That's the first thing he did. He put the Longhorn game back up, and they won in overtime. Arch Manning got injured, so we're sitting there watching the Texas game while he's finalizing the deal, and then we hammered it out and got it done, and we got a tremendous deal on the Nissan Pathfinder. Listen, my wife, for some reason, she loves these cheap, low-cost SUVs. Like she had the Hyundai, then she wanted to get the Kia. I'm like, why don't you could afford it. Why don't you treat yourself? Like, step up a little. I'm not asking you to get a BMW, but can you if you could afford it, you can step up in class a little here.
They're not that much better. They're not that much better.
You can move up from welter. Listen, you can move up from welterweight to super welterweight. Okay, you can see you're cheap like her. That's the thing.
No, but I get expensive rental cars, and I can tell you the difference is not that much. It's honestly not that much. I have a VW. I test drove an Audi. I felt like the Audi was exactly the same, but I always was like, I wonder if I should have gotten that Audi. And then we ended up like renting an Audi when I did a rental car, and I was like, it's fine. It's about the same as my VW. I'm glad I went with the VW.
Well, that's the thing. It's what she had her heart set on this fucking Kia Sorento for some reason. And I was like, all right, if you want a Kia Sorento, get a Kia Sorento. But then when we drove it, she's like, I hate this car. She's like, it doesn't stack up to the Pathfinder. She's like, I feel much more secure. She just liked the Pathfinder better. So, she ended up going with the Pathfinder. And we got a tremendous deal. They want the details in the chat. That's a little uncouth. I'm not going to get into the.
Don't blow up Joshua's spot like that. Yeah.
Well, it's not even about that. It's just uncouth to discuss your own finances, I think. I don't want to get into the specifics of the deal, but it I'm not going to tell you what percentage I'm not going to sit here and give you my credit score. It's perfect. But it's which helps
960.
Which, by the way, honestly, that helps a lot. I mean, when you walk in there when you walk in there with great credit, it's like they don't want to let you leave because So anyway, we got a great deal on it, and she's happy. She won't stop talking about it. I asked the kids today, I said, is mommy still in love with her new car? When I picked them up from school, and they were like, oh my God, she's so annoying about it too. She just won't stop talking. So that's great. I love making her happy. She's happy. She's happy with and then you get in with the finance guy, and they always try to sell you some extended warranty.
Oh God, get out of here. The freaking like the seats and say, get out of here. You're not going to do anything with the seats. Get the fuck out of here.
So I prepped her. I was like, listen, you're buying a brand new car. It's going to come with a fucking warranty. Anything he offers you, I don't care how good it sounds, say no. It doesn't matter what he says. He can say it's going to sound great. Trust me. The answer you want to give him is no. You want to say no to everything. So he did his sales pitch, and I'm under the desk with my thumb pointing down every time, so you can see it.
Like, nope.
I'm like, just say no, and then and then she's like, no, and I'm like, well, the lady doesn't want it. Sorry, sir. Slide it back, because then you got to negotiate with the finance guy. Like, you're not done negotiating after even if you buy the car.
Honestly, that's the part that annoys me more than anything, is then that guy, and I'm like, oh, now you're gonna do this fucking song and dance. Like, come on, man. Like, you love this shit. I'm at this point, I want to die. You're 6 hours in and you're cracking your knuckles and you love it. I want to die at this point.
No, it's such a rush.
It's not.
So
I want to do
exciting.
anything else in the world than talk to these fucking dweebs in an office, in a glass office. I'm good.
It's masculine.
Drink their shitty coffee and I'm out of here.
Listen, it's masculine. It's man versus man, right? You have to defeat your enemy. I'm so into it, and it has a legitimate upside. Rich, I saved $11,000.
No, it does. It certainly does. I get it.
It's like you can't. That first offer. He slides that first offer. I'll tell you the first offer.
Like how I'm the cheap guy, and you spend 7 hours, trying to get a deal on a car, but I'm the cheap guy. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, but I didn't do it to shave $100. I did it to shave
$11,000.
5 figures worth of money.
Yeah.
So on top of all the other, everything. So they slide that first deal to you, and it has a little line there for you to sign because they want you to commit. Not necessarily, you're not signing the deal at that point, but you're signing you will agree to a deal, because then they'll stop bringing you offers after that. You never sign anything. Don't sign anything. Don't sign anything until you've bought the car and you're with the finance guy. That's the only time you should sign anything, until you literally agree on the deal. So anyway, yeah, it was so much fun. It was so exhilarating. And now it makes me, I'm not even ready. My lease isn't even close to up, but I'm like itching. I'm like fiending. I'm like the Dave Chappelle gif where I want to go like redo my deal now.
Like the crackhead. Yeah. You're ready to go.
Yeah. Get me some of that car financing. I need it, and I'm like scratching my neck. Like I want to go down the Mazda.
Maybe go down the holidays. Maybe do the holidays because you're thinking about, Travis needing to buy an extra gift for his kids, so maybe you can work him a little bit.
I almost called him this week to ask him the details on turning in a lease early, just so I can get in there and make another deal. I really get into it. It's so exciting. It's alpha male shit. It's like fucking man versus bear. They're the bear. You got to take down the bear. You got to win.
I will say getting there around closing has worked for me very well too, because everyone's a little itchy to get it done. Like if you walk in at 9 a.m., they got all fucking day.
Okay. Not only did we go in near closing, we went in on a Saturday when they're closed on Sunday. We went in at the end of the month. Okay. And we also went in where this was a 2025 because they're trying to clear out they had 44 2025s on the lot they're trying to get rid of because they're bringing the 2026s in. So you have to plan it that way too. That's the best time to go. They're trying to unload these things. They don't care they're not worried about how much profit they're making off these cars now. They just want to get rid of them. And it's the end of the month. And it was the end of the day on a Saturday. So it was the perfect storm. All those are factors as well. So, God, it's so exciting. I don't know how you don't enjoy it.
I might buy a plane ticket for you to come up and help me buy a car next time. It might be worth it.
I would love to do it.
Yeah, I think I would, because I hate it, but I'm intoxicated by the idea of you giving me $11,000 off my car. So yeah, I'm not horny like your wife, but I'm whatever the equivalent would be.
You're going to turn to me and you're going to go, Joe, this is so hot.
I might. Yeah, it might work. Yeah. Only because I'm saving money, not because of like the masculine man thing, but I'm just like, oh my God, $11,000. Incredible. Thank you.
Every time they leave the door, she's like, oh my God, this is so sexy.
I might just say it. Yeah, honestly.
She like caresses my cheek. She's like, this is so sexy.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that, but yeah.
So
close.
She got a friend at work who wants me to go with her in a couple months when it's her turn.
All right.
Laura from work.
Laura, you get a good deal for Laura. Yeah.
I of course I will. I'll work hard. I got a reputation to uphold now.
Yeah, I might pay for that plane. That plane ticket cannot be that much. I mean, the money that I'll save in future payments is worth the plane ticket. So
it's really not as much of a skill as you make it out to be. It's just a matter of saying no over and over.
I don't have.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people just don't like saying no. It makes them uncomfortable. It's like when I would interview people for manager positions, one of the first questions I would ask them, and a lot of times they'd be confused by it, but it's a legitimate question. Are you comfortable telling people what to do? A lot of people aren't.
Right.
And that's okay. You know what? There's nothing wrong with not being comfortable telling other adults what to do. Some people don't have that in them to be able to do that in a comfortable. Just like some people they don't like saying no, especially when someone's charming or nice or charismatic, or you just, there's nothing wrong with that. It just means you don't have any asshole in you. But sometimes you got to be an asshole to do what's best for yourself. It's just a lot of saying no. You just got to keep saying no. They don't want you to leave. They want to sell you the car. That's how they get paid. That's what you always have to keep in mind too.
It's just a long day. Exciting. It's just a long day. I just don't.
It is a long day.
I just really want to be there all day, but yeah, I get it.
But listen, it's one day every fucking 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. Or however long my wife likes super long loans because she likes to stretch out to make the payment lower. But, most people don't like the super long loans. And they don't like to give you the super long loan if you don't have the credit for the super. But you get the idea. It's a once every 5 year thing. It's one Saturday, twice a decade.
Yeah.
Is the way you got to look at it. So, anyway, go in at the end of the month. Go in on a Saturday.
All right.
Go in late in the year before the 2026.
We're getting pretty close with the misses. We're getting pretty close with the misses. So
you got to get another late model German vehicle. Oh, you might have to get something a little bigger.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
maybe something a little bigger.
Anyway, yeah, maybe. Let's talk MLW, Major League Wrestling, Symphony of Horrors. While this show wasn't great, I honestly, truly believe MLW is like my favorite promotion in wrestling right now. There's something about it. It's just so endearing. as I'm watching the show, I'm always happy when I watch MLW. I'm rarely mad. I love that people come and go. I love that like the people cycle through. Brett Ryan Gosselin was an important part of the show a year ago. He's nowhere to be seen now. C.W. Anderson recently died. He's gone, written off the territory. Like, guys,
he's literally, they killed him.
Dead. He's dead. They're like, well, he did the ultimate sacrifice. Joe Dombrowski said C.W. Anderson paid the ultimate sacrifice in the Chamber of Horrors match. So if C.W. Anderson is dead in MLW canon, like Hammerstone comes, Hammerstone goes. You know, they only can employ 2 women at a time, so they always come and go. You know, I there's just something about it. It feels like a throwback in a lot of ways. It's not always good. It's not always like good with a lot of good wrestling or whatever, but it's simple. The promos are pretty basic. You know, people are just backstage yelling about stuff. People get pushes and they get to their level, and then when their push is done, they just go away. They might come back. They might not. Who cares? And then there's just like Mystico's there too. Then this whole Austin Aries thing has got me all excited because he's just he's like an incredible heel. It's just, I don't know. This show wasn't good, but I think MLW is great. Like, you know, it's just a fun show to watch. An hour and a half. It's not that much time investment. It doesn't insult, it like insults my intelligence in just enough of a pro wrestling way. And I don't feel like I'm being talked down to the entire time while the show, because like a lot of wrestling feels like it's just dumb. And MLW doesn't feel dumb. It's just kind of, I don't know. Just stupid sometimes. It's a little different. I don't know. It's just a little different. There's something about it. It's charming. It's got a charm in its stupidity at times. It's got a pro wrestling charm to its stupidity. But overall, Symphony of Horrors, before we go match by match, what did you think of the show in total?
I thought it was another fun and interesting MLW event. I hate to do this to you. You're going to have to fill like 2 minutes.
You're good.
I have no idea how you're going to do it. But anyway, good luck with that. You got to fill like 2 minutes.
You're good. I got it. Okay, so I will first off, I don't want to I'm not going to do any of the Austin Aries stuff. I'll save that for Joe. Joe is going to want to talk about Austin Aries. But let me expand on my MLW and why I enjoy MLW. Again, as I talked about, the time investment of it's not good. It's not always good. I don't know if I can even fully recommend this entire show because most of the matches weren't very good. A lot of the matches, but they're only like 7 minutes long. So it's like if a bad match is 7 minutes long, I don't have that big of a complaint about it. 7 minutes of my time. It's not that big of a deal. It's okay. But I just love that the roster is small and people come and people go. And I think that is a lost art in pro wrestling today. We talk about it all the time on the show, and I talk about it as many times. If you're in the Discord, you know my thoughts on this. I hate stagnation. It's something that I just cannot stand in pro wrestling anymore, is how stagnant everything is. Everything is the same. In WWE, it's the same people getting the same pushes over and over and over and over again. Look at that WrestleMania 42 ad. The feet. Oh, it's going to be Chris Jericho. It's going to be, no. It's just, this is letting you know WrestleMania is going to be in Las Vegas. Who's on that poster? It's CM Punk. It's Roman Reigns. It's Cody. It's Brock Lesnar. It's Paul Heyman. It's Paul Levesque. It's like, I mean, yeah, CM Punk came back. Cody came back. But for the most part, a lot of those guys have just been there and there for years. And even those guys, even Cody now, it's like we're on, year 4 of Cody being there? You know, and he's feeling a little old hat in that company too. Very familiar in that company. Punk still got a little bit of new car smell to him. But, you know, again, it's the same names over and over and over again. AEW, we bring this up all the time. I mean, AEW, that roster, I mean, we're 6 years into AEW, and a lot of the same people are in the exact same spots that they were in 6 years ago, with a very few. There's a couple exceptions here and there. A couple people have moved around or moved up or whatever. A couple people have entered the company. But for the most part, guys are just kind of in the same spots they've been in since they came into the company. And that's an issue that AEW has. And that's true. Look, all of wrestling. You know my thoughts on New Japan Pro Wrestling. We talk about it all the time with All Japan. That anytime somebody comes in and somebody adds a pulse to All Japan, we're excited. Oh, Go Shiozaki's back. Great. Yuma Anzai's come up. But for the most part, it's like, oh, and then Kenta Miyahara beat him, and now Kenta Miyahara is the Triple Crown. And they have like 6 matches they can have with a couple other guys, and then it's kind of the same thing over and over and over again. Noah, that obviously got upset last year with Ozawa, and that's great. And Stardom, of course, got upset in a big way by the Marigold split and Rossi Ogawa leaving and Saya Kamatani moving up or whatever. So they haven't had many issues. But what I love about MLW is there's no stagnation because they're always cycling through people constantly. There's a bunch of new people coming in, a bunch of new people coming out all the time. You got your main eventers. Obviously, you have your core main eventers, but they come and go as well. Like, would it surprise you if Matt Riddle is still in this company in a year? Probably not. if Matt Skrull Kruger, he seems like he's going to be there forever. Like, I don't know where else he's going. And they like him, and they're going to push him. But, like, Bishop Dyer and Donovan Dijak, those guys by next year will probably not be around there. I mean, shit, this year, wasn't it this year that Eric Bischoff was, like, a central figure in MLW? He's gone. That story's done, and he's gone. You know what I mean? If this was any other wrestling company, Eric Bischoff would hang around for 7 more years or whatever. And it's like, it's so stagnant every other part of wrestling. But I love that MLW moves people in and out and around, and it makes it for an interesting show. What you watched in October is not what you watched in February. And I can't say that about a lot of other wrestling companies. A lot of other wrestling companies, what I watched in February is still fucking happening now. So that's one thing that I appreciate about MLW, that it feels new and unique every single time you watch it. And Joe, you are now back, so... Any other?
Yeah. I heard a lot of what you had to say there as you were on a roll. They do. You do kind of get a new, fresh coat of paint every couple months.
Very territory like, right? It kind of feels like a territory where Mid-South in October of 1983 is not the same Mid-South you're going to watch in October of 1984, and that's good. That's a positive.
Like the women's division was Delmi XO and Janai Kai for a while. Now it's Shotzi Blackheart and Priscilla Kelly, right? Like and then Shotzi Blackheart and Priscilla Kelly will find something else to do, and they'll bring somebody. So it really works that way. The one constant lately has been the CMLL talent, because obviously they're drawing for them, especially in Cicero. But yeah, look, these are easy to watch shows. It's twice a month. It's an easy time investment. Some of the shows are better than others. You're not getting a lot of killer matches or anything like that, but I always find it to be an easy watch, a fun watch. There's some bad stuff.
Oh, no, it's not all good. No, I'm not going to tell you it's good, but
yeah, but I mean, it's I've said this before. It's probably at worst my second favorite wrestling promotion to watch right now.
Right.
There's CMLL, there's AEW, there's an MLW. Like, I don't know. Like, I was texting a friend. I recommended the Mystico Austin Aries match to someone who's a wrestling fan who I know doesn't watch MLW. And he was like, "All right, thanks." And then I explained to
seriously, I'm telling you.
He was like, "All right, thanks." But then I was like, "All right, I better explain who Don Gatto is, because this is going to be very confusing that there's this guy sitting in a throne at ringside." So I explained the whole Don Gatto tequila.
By the way, not available near me. My gimmick for this show was going to be I was going to drink Don Gatto tequila. I can't. It's not around. I got to go like 45 miles to find it. So at some point,
I'm explaining how Danny McBride is like associated with MLW now, and that piqued his interest. He's like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, he sells his tequila. He's having a produce show," and then. I said to him, I said, "I'll be completely honest. MLW is always pretty good. I like it better than Dynamite a lot of the time." And he's like, "All right, I think I'll watch it. I'll catch up on it, and I'll watch it every week." So, I don't know. It's like I guess it was kind of ironic for a while when we were covering it, but I when a new show comes up, I do look forward to it. I want to watch it. I want to watch it, and that's not always the case with some of these other promotions. Well, that's not always the case with most. That's not always the case with all of these other promotions that we cover. I don't I very rarely look forward to Dynamite. I looked forward to the one after the pay-per-view because, we were getting Okada versus Bandito. I'm looking forward to Bandito versus Dorada on Saturday. I'm looking forward to that. But a lot of weeks, I'm not looking forward to Dynamite. A lot of weeks, I forget, and I'll be playing College Football 26 on a Wednesday night. I'm like, "Oh fuck, I gotta watch Dynamite. I gotta do this fucking review." I forget. But when a new ML dub pops up, again, maybe because it's just the lack of time commitment. Maybe it's because they got me, but it's like, oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to watch the MLW.
This one was interesting this week because they sent me a screener. They were like, "Oh, here you go," but they sent the screener like 2 hours before it was going to debut on YouTube. But I was home and I wasn't doing anything, so I was like, "Oh, fucking yeah!" So I'd have to show watch before it went live on YouTube, and I was like, "All right, yeah." I'd never do that. If AEW said, "Hey, we have a screener for Dynamite," I'd be like, screeners. "I'm good, man. I'll wait."
We get screeners sometimes, and we wait till it comes out anyway half the time with some of this stuff. But I don't know. It's not like great or anything.
No.
I don't think I ever finished watching it, and I'm like, fucking 2 hours of my phone. It's fine, and a lot of times it's good. And this had the Mystical Austin Aries match, which I thought was great.
Yeah, Let's talk about that. Let's start off with that match. A phenomenal match. Austin Aries continues to just blow my mind with how good he still is at wrestling.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. He's fucking great. He like in ring bell to bell. We'll talk about his out of the ring here in a second, but bell to bell, he could still fucking go with the best of them.
He's so good. Yeah.
He is, and he has a style and a crispness and a tenacity. It's one of those things that we talk about is so missing in today's wrestling, and you watch him and you're like, it's like he feels like a relic from a past era, but that past era is like, 10 years ago or whatever. It's not that long ago. It's not like a guy coming from 30 years ago. We had this. Like, we had guys that wrestled like this all the fucking time, but there's a snap to the work. There's a tenacity to the work. There's a snugness to everything he does. And it's just wild that it's like, fuck, this guy can be like basically barely wrestling at all for 5 or 6 years and come back and be this good. And this match was phenomenal. It was a great match. I'm telling you, people listening to this right now, you're not going to believe me. This was a great match. Notebook.
It was a great match. You have to go see it. I've been texting it to people who I know are wrestling fans, who I know have been out on MLW. And I'm telling you right now, and people, they're going to listen. It's not a bit. I think Austin Aries is better than 80% of the wrestlers on TV right now, dusting off the rust and wrestling 3 matches in MLW. He is a better pro wrestler than conservatively 80% of the wrestlers in WWE and AEW. He's just so good. And it's because he does all of the little things and is so good at the small details and is so crisp and perfect in his work. It's that thing that Alan Cunahan talks about all the time. And he always has trouble articulating it. And I always feel bad for him because I understand what he's trying to say, but it's a hard thing to convey. There's such a lack of attention to small detail in wrestling these days. There's such a lack of attention to, and now look, I'm having a hard time articulating it. And you probably know exactly what I mean when I say this, of the intricacies of work and making it go from I'm performing this well to I'm performing this to where it feels legit.
Right.
And
Aries, a lot of people wrestle like they have a checklist in mind of the moves that they wanted to do in this match, and they have to get through all the moves that they talked about doing during the match. And or
even just how to do them, to do them in just the. All right, well, I did the move, but did it look as good as it could have looked? Did it have the snap that it could have had? Did I it's those that's been lost. In a lot of, in a lot of the wrestling that we see. You can see it when you watch NXT. That NXT is the perfect promotion to point to for that because, I mean, technically, I guess they're doing everything correctly, but it never looks good. Like, it just looks like they're theater students who were taught how to do slightly more physical activities, right? And then you watch AEW, and there's so many wrestlers in AEW that, again, they're good pro wrestlers, but what stops them from getting the great is they don't have that attention to detail and that stick-to-itiveness to the little things that some previous generations of wrestlers had. I mean, anytime you go back and watch territory wrestling, and when you haven't watched it in a while, when you're watching good territory, like some guys sucked, of course, and they're worse than anything you'll see today. But I'm talking about the guys who knew what they were doing. You're like taken aback sometimes at how good they are. You're like, holy shit. Did you see how deep that fucking arm drag was? Yeah. Did you see the
arm drags? Oh God, the arm drags. Watching Tour of the Territories, and everybody does arm drag. Every single wrestler in the territories in 1983 does an arm drag. But my God, some of these guys, and you could tell the difference between a good arm drag and a bad arm drag. A Tito Santana and a Tully Blanchard arm drag is like, who? And you can immediately, and one of the notes that I've always kind of brought up when I've done that series is guys that I can tell instantly, even in 1983, are going to be good wrestlers. And it's not just the benefit of hindsight. Like Arn Anderson is the perfect example. Marty Lundy, when he showed up in Mid-South.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go with the idea of, I don't know that he's Arn Anderson, right? But within seconds, you're like, that dude's different. Like, you can just tell the way it works is like, just everything about him. You're like, that guy's going to be good. And I saw that with we saw Marty Lundy's the best example, but who was the other guy that I saw that I was like, oh yeah, that guy's going to be fucking great. Oh, Jake Roberts. Jake Roberts is another guy who in 1983 is still kind of figuring it out, but you see the work, you see the way, like his punches and
he's wearing like the loose, karate
skinny,
pants,
and he's got the karate pants on or whatever, and he's got his bad mustache or whatever. But you can just tell from the way he's punching and the way he's moving and the way he's just moving around the ring. You're like, yeah, that guy's going to be great. It's obvious, and yeah, we know with the benefit of hindsight that he's going to be great, but You can just tell. You just can tell right then and there within a couple of seconds that guy is going to be great. And yeah, you notice that stuff when you watch old wrestling, where just how the snap to everything, the velocity with a lot of those moves, that just, because again, you were trying to make it look, you wanted the audience to think that you were in a simulated fight or that you were in a real fight. You're simulating a fight to that crowd. And
the attention to detail is the best way to, it's hard to articulate. See how hard it is to articulate?
You got to see it. You got to see it to know it. Yeah.
But the point is, Austin Aries works like that. When Austin Aries had these 3 matches, the Kushida match, the Paul London match, and now the Mystico match, you're like, whoa, this is a guy who knows what he's doing. And it really shows itself. You know, it's like we talked about Leon Slater versus Javon Evans from Bound for Glory. And it was a good match. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. But what do we talk about? Like, you could still tell that they're a little green. You can still tell that they're way behind. They did a Will Ospreay Ricochet match, and they're not even close to Will Ospreay or Ricochet yet. And I think that's what they showed with that match. And it's like those guys, and I'm not knocking those guys. They're good. They're probably going to be great. Both of them. They're like 21. Okay? But then you watch Austin Aries, and you're like, oh my God, he's so much better than them.
Yeah.
Like it's like he's so much just better than those. Like, it's not even close. And even if the Kushida or Paul London match weren't as good, quote unquote, as that match at Bound for Glory, his work was so much better than the work that they did at Bound for Glory. And again, it's not meant to be knocking them. It's meant to be putting over how good Austin Aries is, who hasn't wrestled in forever on a major league, no pun intended, stage, has been doing micro indies sporadically, and he could just dust it off. Get in there with fucking Kushida, Paul London, and Mystico, and not only hang with them, but like be just as good.
Right, raise their game too. Raise their game. So much so that Mystico's like, this motherfucker's got to come to Mexico, and he's coming to Mexico. We'll talk about that in a minute.
And talk about it right now. If people don't believe us, how good this match, and listen, we're probably overhyping it. They're probably going to go in expecting a match of the year contender.
It's not that. No, it's not that.
It's just a really good match is what it is. Okay. It's a notebook match. It's definitely a notebook match. It's in the 4 range. 4, 4.25, 3 3/4, whatever the fuck. Reasonable minds can disagree by a quarter star. It's an excellent match. Okay. And to show you that we're not just doing a bit or going over the top when it comes to his work in MLW, he is now booked for Arena Mexico in a lightning match against Mascara Dorada in 2 weeks. How do you think he got that booking? Because he went in there with Mystico and fucking killed it. And Mystico went back to CMLL and said, we got to bring this guy in. He's great. He can work with our guys. He can put Mascara Dorada over. You know? So he immediately, in the span of 2 television tapings for MLW, got the attention of one of the top wrestling promotions in the world, and they're bringing him in 2 weeks.
Right. And he's working Arena Mexico. And he's working the whole weekend. He's working Arena Mexico and the whole weekend run in CMLL.
And he's like 50, and he hasn't wrestled in years.
Right.
But you know, and like, look, his body ain't as tight as it used to be. Look, he's an older guy. I mean, how old is he? Might
Let me see. I don't know if he's quite 50, but he's 47. He's 47. He's 47. So pretty damn close. Pretty damn close.
He's 47. I mean, but the work is just the timing and the positioning. He's in the exact spot he needs to be in for every spot. His match structures are great. And his pacing, the pacing in the Mystical match. I mean, he's 47. The cardio on this guy. I know it sounds like we're going overboard for this little, what was this, a little 13-minute match or whatever.
15, yeah.
You know, it's a 7.25 on Cage Match. I think it was a little better than that.
Better than that, yeah.
I go 8 on the Cage Match scale. But I just think it just if you appreciate the intricacies of work in pro wrestling, there's no way you can watch. And listen, the Kushida match was his work, and the Paul London match was a little different because they did the Paul London, Paul Walter Hauser stuff was in the mix with that. So they did a little angle during the match. But if you're just examining the work itself, I mean, this guy has been a revelation, and I hope he does well in CMLL, and I hope that we at least get one more big run out of this guy wherever he ends up working before he inevitably pisses everybody off and rubs everyone the wrong way and self-destructs
which will come, yeah.
Which is probably going to come. But there's a lot of whispers out there that he knows this is his last shot to make some money and that he needs some money. So maybe he'll be on his CM Punk-like best behavior, knowing that, hey, look, I'm 47. I'm still physically in great shape because I'm the king of controversy and I'm better than all of you and I live so well. I'm in fantastic shape. And this is my opportunity to make some real scratch in this business, maybe for the last time. So maybe that's his mindset. I don't know. But yeah, it's a match I'm recommending to people.
Absolutely. It's a great match. Yeah. And another thing that I'm sure Mystico recommended to CMLL as well is that this guy can cut promos and get the fans to absolutely hate him. And he cuts a promo at the beginning of this match, and it's an Austin Aries promo, for better or for worse, and for me, for better, because the guy's a fucking heel and you're supposed to hate him. He comes out and he goes, you're either sick or you're stupid, and I'm looking in the crowd and a lot of you are both. You're both sick and stupid. And yeah, it's basic stuff, but they're booing him. And then he starts talking about the machine, and you're all part of the machine, and you're all just kind of, and then people are like, get this guy out of the ring. And that's it. That's the gimmick, man. That's it. Because guess what? They're booing him, and he's talking about, oh, don't boo me because I'm right, and I live healthy, and I live, I'm a vegan, and blah, 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 all that, whatever you want. And again, as he's going on and on and on, his fans are getting more and more annoyed. Get this fucker out of this ring. Fuck this guy. He's annoying. Shut up. And dorks and losers are like, that's stupid. Get him out of the ring. He sucks. Yeah, no shit. Guess what? Mystico comes, the crowd fucking comes unglued. Not that they needed a reason to come unglued about Mystico.
And listen, Aries was getting mega heat before Mystico even came out. Mega heat. Because I think he's definitely self-aware here.
Of course he is. Yeah.
This vegan stuff, the I'm not vaxxed, I'm left-handed, I'm a genius. Here's the thing about this. Here's why it's so good and so nuanced. He believes all that shit.
Of course he does.
That's who he is. But he also knows that people hate all of that shit.
Right.
He knows that people hate vegans. He knows that there's a lot of people who think if you're unvaxxed, you're a fucking monster. He knows that talking about your IQ is like the biggest douchebag thing you can do in a normal conversation. Who the fuck talks about their IQ?
Yeah, douchebags. Douchebags do.
So he's leaning in,
of course,
to all of these real life beliefs that he does hold. He's turning them up to 11 or 12, which isn't hard for him because he lives at a 10. Okay, he lives at 10, so he's turning these things up to 10 or 11 to 11 or 12 because he knows they're things that get under people's skin, and he knows he's going to get good heat. And the reason he's getting good heat and the reason the promos are so good is because it's really who he is.
Right. It's him with
he's
the volume turned up.
He's not playing a character.
And that is Pro Wrestling 101. Talk to any great promoter, any great booker of yesteryear, and they'll say the art of pro wrestling is take your personality and turn it up to 11. What do you do? What is your real thoughts? Okay, let's turn up to 11 and make it, because it's pro wrestling. It has to be a little over the top.
Yeah.
It's got to be a little too on the nose or whatever, because that's what the game is.
Right.
But it's way more. If they gave Austin Aries some, dumb gimmick and it's not going to be the same as him truly believing that I'm better than these fucking cretins in the crowd because I'm unvaxxed and I'm a vegan and I'm not stupid or whatever. That's the fucking gimmick.
Yeah, and he does think he's smarter than every fan.
Of course he does. Yes,
and he does think that you're going to drop dead of a heart attack because you got the vaccine. He really believes this shit. Okay. But he also knows it's going to get him good heat, and the authenticity is there because he believes it. But he's turning it up. So the promos are great. And the promos are now getting legitimate heat in these buildings. Not the fake bullshit wrestling heat. No, these
people wanted this guy dead.
Match.
Yeah, the people wanted Mystico to come in here and get this guy and take him out of the fucking ring and beat his ass.
Yeah. And then Mystico comes out, who they love, and then what do they do? Like, here's the thing. People might go watch this match thinking they're going to see some kind of wild spot fest since we're talking it up so much. It really isn't that.
No, it's not.
This is a classic.
Dude, you know what? You can watch a spot fest all the fucking time. No. This is not a spot fest, and I'm glad it isn't.
What this is your classic heel versus babyface, okay, with Aries leading the way. Right down to by the end of the match, he pulls out them brass knucks right behind the referee's back. And it's like, it's not this overdone fucking ref bump weapons. No, it's like, it's old school shit heelery. that he's doing at the end of all of these matches, because at the end of the day, he talks all this big game. He talks about how great he is. He talks about how much better he is than all the fans. But at the end of the day, he knows he still has to cheat to beat these guys.
Of course.
And that's just pro wrestling 101. Okay. And it's so fucking good. And the details of and like I said, the wrestling's outstanding. And I think you made a great point. He's also elevating these very good wrestlers, by the way, to another level too. Because how many mystical matches have we talked about in MLW where we're like, he put in 60%.
Right. Oh, yeah. He couldn't go 60% here. He had to, yes, was he doing like 80s babyface shit? Yes, the entire time. But he elevated. Yeah. Mystico was on his top of his game too, because you have to, because Aries brings it out of you.
And not that there weren't impressive spots. Aries does these topes now where he's fucking 47. He doesn't need to be doing these topes, but he does these topes where, now look, they're not El Hijo de Fantasmo topes, but they're dangerous looking. There's velocity behind them. He's got his core offense, which is a lot of the stuff he used to do, but he's also shaven a lot of his old spots too. It's Austin Aries. You'll recognize the work. And there is some, it's not just side headlocks and fucking eye rakes. I don't want to make it out like it's totally stripped down, but it's also not like just going out there and doing spots. It's also not that. These matches all have a nice little, you know what they are? They're high level television matches.
Yep.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they are.
So Sajizzle in the chat brought up a perfect spot that I was going to bring up. I have my notes. Is that Austin Aries does this brainbuster. And the idea is he's going to do the brainbuster, which is a big-ass move and makes you believe that he's going to beat Mystico. But Mystico gets his foot on the rope. And guess what this fucker does? He puts Mystico in the exact perfect spot in the ring, the attention to detail. They don't have to do the brainbuster, and then they both scoot over. Because you'd see that shit in NXT. Right. They would do the move, and then they go to go, and then you're like, oh, God, they're of course going to get on the ropes or whatever. No, it just happens organically. He does the brainbuster and he positions Mystico perfectly so that Mystico can just get that leg up at 2 and get it right on the and the brainbusters are awesome. His brainbusters are great too. But it's again the little things. He knows the next spot is going to be Mystico needs to get his foot on the ropes. So I'm going to lay him down in a perfect spot where he's not super close, but not super far away, where we don't have to move. We don't have to suspend any disbelief here. It's just simply that Mystico has to get his foot on the rope or whatever. And it doesn't telegraph, and it's not telegraphed. It's not one of those ones where you're like, okay, here we go. Obviously, he's going to do it. Just little stuff like that. The attention to detail that is so lost in a lot of wrestling today.
Yeah, and his execution is just it's close to flawless. There were a couple spots where Mystico was setting him up for a big dive, and he had to do the scoot. I did notice that. But, the execution is as close to flawless as you can get. This guy's just a true pro, and it just jumps off the page, and it's such a pleasure to watch him wrestle in MLW. And I am really looking forward to that lightning match with Dorado.
Oh, yeah. That's a big spot.
Because I'm going to, for two reasons. Number one, they're both great. Okay. Number two, I think he knows that's essentially a tryout. If he kills it in that Dorado match, he probably sees that as, Flip Gordon's down there. You know what I mean? Like, why can't he be a regular there? If he's in CMLL, and I'm not saying that these companies would hire him, but he knows that New Japan and AEW are going to see him.
Right.
If he's in CMLL.
I don't think he's ever going to AEW.
But he's going to see this as an opportunity.
Correct.
Though.
He will. Yeah.
And it's going to affect his motivations going into that match. And he also is going to be privy to Dorado. Dorado works MLW. I'm sure he's paying attention to the scene in pro wrestling. He's going to, this is a big spot. And you know what? The fact that they're putting him in that match and not some undercard 6-man.
That's a big match. That's a big match with a guy that they push.
Yeah. With all these, with all these CMLL guys on the card that watched him wrestle Mystico, and the fact that he wrestled Mystico, and I'm sure there were CMLL reps at the show or whatever, he obviously impressed people with his work. And that's why he's getting this opportunity in CMLL. And it's just a really amazing revival story that I'm glad we were in on the ground floor of. Because if it does work out for him and he has a nice run with CMLL, or he ends up working in other places, we get to victory lap it like pompous assholes.
Yeah, of course.
So that's another little nice upside here.
And for people, and just to point this out, the way we analyze wrestling, I don't want to go out to dinner with this guy. I don't want to ever talk to this guy in person, but like,
could you imagine having a conversation with him?
It would be terrible.
Which is like his promos. I mean,
yeah,
that's what it would
I would hate it. You know, I'd order a burger and he'd look at me like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You're putting that poison in your body." I'm like, "Oh, fuck off, dude." You know, I order a beer and a burger and I'm eating some fucking fries and dipping it.
Don't you know what they feed those cows?
Right, like, shut up. I know. I do. Yes, Austin, I do. I am aware of it and I hate myself for it sometimes, but I don't care because it's tasty. All right.
This is a man who once tweeted out that a woman's vagina will taste like wet pennies because they eat macaroni and cheese and Cheetos.
Slim Jims. Slim Jims. They eat Slim Jims and mac and cheese. Yes.
It's Slim Jims and mac and cheese, right? No Cheetos.
Yep. No, it's Slim Jims and mac and cheese, and that's their pussies smell like wet pennies. And luckily, when he eats out women, they don't taste like wet pennies.
They taste like delicious pussy.
Right. Because he only eats out vegan women. So
that's a real thing he tweeted.
Yes, a real thing.
With a one-eyed illustrated tiger.
Oh, no, it had 3 eyes, Joe. It had 3 eyes.
Oh, it was a 3-eyed illustrated tiger.
Of course it wasn't. Of course Austin Aries would point out a 3-eyed, tiger or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah.
With wet pennies spelled wrong, too, but that's okay. Pennys. Wet pennies.
Lee in the chat said, "Your husky wife." Did he tweet that out? Your husky wife?
No. You don't remember that? So the story there is, he was feuding with Johnny Nitro, Johnny Impact in TNA.
Oh my god!
And he said that in a promo about Taya. He was like, I forget what the exact promo was, but he's a great talker too. Like, he's an awesome promo.
Right, because you fucking hate the guy. You're like, this guy sucks. The husky wife.
And he said something like, "Let me tell you something, Johnny Impact. I don't care about you or your husky wife." And then he just cut his promo. Like, what? The husky wife line. That's like a classic fucking, like, I'll never forget that. He called her the husky wife.
Because that's Austin Aries with the volume turned up. Because he thinks that. He thinks that. Yes, when he sees her.
He thinks she's husky. And the thing is, like, she's in shape. Like, she's built. Like, I don't even know that she's husky. But to him, she's husky.
Right. No, she's not husky.
To him, she's husky. Like, she's like powerfully built. Like, it looks like she does a lot of squats and fucking shoulder work.
No, she's in tremendous shape for a normal human being. But yeah, for Austin though, yeah, that's so good.
Husky, he called her. You don't remember? I
don't remember that, but it's so perfect.
I think I've even referred to it many times. Whenever he comes up, like Johnny whatever, I'm always like, Johnny whatever, and his husky wife. You probably thought I was just being an asshole.
I thought you were just being a dick. Yeah, but you're just invoking another asshole, Austin Aries.
I'm quoting Austin Aries. I'm not the one that called her husky. But and like the vitriol he said. Maybe you can find the promo.
I'll have to look for it. Yeah,
and your husky wife, like with disdain in his voice. Like, I would never be with such a woman. It was. I mean, the guy is he's something else.
But like, I don't want to go out to dinner with the guy. I don't want to hang out with the guy, but I don't fucking care. That doesn't influence my wrestling. Like, so many people, I think their wrestling is influenced by whether they like the people or not. I don't need to like the guy to think he's a good performer. And guess what? You don't like him. You shouldn't like him. You should really, really like want to watch the babyface beat him up. And that, like, when you're in the crowd and so many, and I know that CMLL crowd is going to eat it up. Like, they're going to give him promo time and he's going to do a great job of getting the crowd, just like MJF does. And everybody goes, "Hey, MJF's doing baby's first heel stuff." Well, guess what? It fucking works. You know what I mean? I don't care. Yes, America good, Mexico bad. You guys are stupid. You smell. Boo. Like, American fans go, "Oh, that's stupid. I don't like that." But Mexico fans go, "Fuck this guy. I hope somebody beats his ass." And then guess what? Somebody comes in and they beat their ass. That's wrestling. Like, I'm sorry to tell you guys, that's what fucking wrestling is. And this is what this crowd, MLW crowds, they don't like me. They don't like Austin Aries because he's a dick and he's annoying, but they don't have to like him to want to watch the babyface beat him up like this. I don't know where we got in wrestling where heels, and that's the thing about, like, people being like, "Well, can you do this in AEW?" No, because AEW fans wouldn't accept it. They would get mad about it. They got mad about Dan Lambert. You know what I mean? Like, that was, they get mad about MJF all the time and his promos. They wouldn't be able to handle Austin Aries.
There's a portion of the AEW audience that absolutely would not accept a heel running down the fans for being vaccinated. It just wouldn't work in AEW.
But what a gimmick! What a gimmick would that be? And then
I agree.
And then the Millennium Cowboy comes out. Like, it's perfect.
Yes, and beats him and beats him up.
Yes, it is like shut the fuck up, and then takes his head off with a fucking lariat
and hits him with the flippy-do lariat, and then you're all happy.
That's wrestling.
And then you're all happy, you know.
You're like, yeah, fuck that unvaccinated asshole. And he could say that. Hey, man, can get on the promo and say, yeah, I'm vaccinated. I'm happy to do it. I'll go, yeah. Like, you could do that. We could have that.
He can feud with Mark Briscoe and chastise him for running a chicken farm. You know, the possibilities are endless. I mean, to be honest with you, but
I didn't even think about the chicken farm thing. That's right. Yeah, you vile human being, and you're raising chickens to die and poison our youth and say, yeah, it's great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, And plus, you know, all kidding aside, he does have a reputation.
He's a dickhead. Yeah. He's an absolute dickhead.
You know, he's made a lot of enemies in pro wrestling. And I'm sure if he hadn't made, I'm sure we'll never see him in AEW. Because the fact is,
he's burned so many bridges with a lot of people in that company that,
he would have been there by now because he's really fucking good. Like, that's the point. Like, he would have been there at this point. So you'll probably never see him there, which is unfortunate. I think he would be instantly one of the best guys on the roster, if I'm being completely honest. But, and look, not someone I'd push, but he'd be on TV losing to people. I mean, he'd, you know, and putting people over, you know, he's 47 and he's the classic. That guy's a fucking good hand. And you put him on TV and you let Takeshita beat him on in the main event of a fucking Dynamite. That's the usage I'd get out of him, but he'll never be there. He would have been there already by now. My wife is texting me delicious pussy because she can hear the podcast from upstairs.
Yeah.
So she's like, delicious pussy. Oh yeah. You know, she thinks she's, you know, going to be the recipient of some trademark Lanza action.
Well, watch out for those wet pennies. So,
listen, I don't know what'd she have for dinner tonight. Did she have macaroni
mac and cheese?
Hopefully
not mac and cheese.
The Kraft box. No, what she actually had was, I made some Italian chicken thighs for dinner. So it was all fresh ingredients. So we should be good, right?
No, because it's vegan. No, it's only the vegan women, I think.
Oh, that's right. The chicken might.
But I can't say. I've never partaken, so I can't say. I've never gotten wet pennies out of, but I don't know.
You've never partaken in what? Hold on now.
No. With a vegan woman, with a vegan woman. Okay. So I can't compare. I can't compare.
I'm like Rich. What are you, Uncle Junior over here? You don't partake?
No. I partake. I partake. Let me tell you.
Okay, but Rich partakes. Rich partakes.
Partake. Yeah.
You know,
give me the wet pennies. I'm in. I don't taste my pennies, but I mean,
that's because she doesn't eat Slim Jims and macaroni and cheese.
That's not true.
Well, she does eat.
Yeah, she eats a lot of mac and cheese. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know. Well, then Austin Aries is wrong then, right?
Well, I don't know, but again, like I've never tasted. Like I said, it maybe I would, you know, and then I'd be like, wow, he's right. This is a monumental difference. So. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know the difference. I only know one taste. So it's like, who knows? Yeah, it could be completely different.
Well, you got to send her to Whole Foods for a month and tell her not to buy any meat.
Give it a try and go, you know what? I'm not going to lie.
You do a taste test. You do a taste test. This show is off the fucking
It's
rails.
A fucking disaster. Yeah, that's what happens when there's no wrestling news to talk about.
This is what happens when wrestling stinks. This is what happens.
This is what you get, yeah.
You get flagships like this.
Cola the Lodger says, my wife is a vegan. No difference. So
there you go.
All right.
There you go. Well, when's the last time he was with a wet pennies type?
Right. Pennies. YS. Yeah, YS.
Wet pennies. That's such a great description for a bad tasting vagina, though, right? Wet pennies. It's like, I could imagine a bad tasting vagina. I've never experienced a wet pennies vagina before, but I could see it being a little acidic like that, right? Wet pennies. You ever accidentally taste a coin or something?
Of course, yeah.
I know exactly what he means when he says wet pennies, though. That's the thing. You know, there's like...
That would be rough. I have never had that experience like Austin has had, so...
A lot of the chat is saying they can confirm that there's no difference. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been with nothing but meat eaters.
Yeah, so. Same. So... Like I said, maybe I'll have to tell the nurse, hey, chill on the meat for a month. I got to for work. We got to do this for work. So,
well, why don't you guys go on your little adult friend finder account and specifically look for a vegan? Why don't you guys do
my
that?
adult friend finder account?
Yeah, I know you guys. You like to dabble. Get on your adult friend finder account. And,
I'm pretty close to Naperville. You're right. I could probably find one in Naperville.
You're right near Naperville. And I had a running back in college football 26 from Naperville.
Yeah.
I was
Did you get him?
I was like, this guy's a freak. Yeah, he was on my team for like 3 years before he transferred.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. If I ever come visit you guys, you got to swing me.
It's not that exciting.
On over by Naperville.
I see what you did there. It's not that exciting. I will tell you, it's not that exciting of a town, but
okay, yeah. But see that our hypothetical Tinder accounts would be picking up Naperville is
mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, correct,
right. Little swipe right,
yeah,
little swipe right from Downers Grove, Illinois. You
want to talk about the rest of the show real quick?
I guess we should. Yeah.
So a lot of Don Gatto. I'm now convinced that what I love about this, especially in the main event, is that they got Danny McBride's tequila company to sponsor MLW. I don't know for what amount of money or whatever, but they have made sure and they have promised them the world. We will reference your tequila upwards of 150 times on this show, including literally having the character Don Gatto show up in the main event and be on the hard camera in a giant throne the entire time. And we'll continue to reference the fact that Don Gatto is watching the show. It's great marketing. Let me tell you, because I looked up, again, like I said, I was like, you know what? I better fucking buy this tequila. I better find this fucking tequila. So it worked. I can't find it. It's nowhere near me. But
yeah,
there's some Mexican restaurants that have it near me, but I can't buy a bottle of it anywhere near me. So maybe one of these days. But
you could order it, right?
I can order it. Yeah.
You could order it.
I could. Maybe for Don Gatto, Lucha de la Muertes, I'll make sure I have a bottle ready.
Yeah.
As I watch the show live,
You should. I think you should watch the Don Gatto show, which, by the way, not doing great at the gate.
Not
in,
great.
South Carolina.
No. If you're in the Charleston, South Carolina area, you might want to go to your local Ticketmaster office and go to the JCPenney's or whatever. Did you have a local Ticketmaster office that you would go to back in the day?
We had one in the Woodbridge Center shopping mall.
Yeah. Mine was in
New
Yorktown
Jersey.
Shopping Mall in the JCPenney, like a corner of the JCPenney. That's where my dad bought Backlash 2001 tickets for me. So
yep, we had a Ticketron in the Macy's in the corner. Remember Ticketron?
I don't remember Ticketron. No, I don't remember Ticketron.
And we had a full-on Ticketmaster storefront in the mall, like where you go in and there'd be 3 very angry and bored-looking women who would be at a little computer, a little old-school Commodore 64 deal, hooked up to like probably not even a 56K modem, right? Probably some rustic whatever the fuck.
Maybe 56K, but probably something even worse, yeah.
And you'd go ask for fucking Mets tickets or something, and they'd have to put down their Whopper Jr. and they'd be not happy to be assisting you in the Woodbridge Center Mall Ticketmaster. But yeah, I do remember. I'm surprised you're old enough to remember the
the last bits of that. Or what I would do is like the other thing too is I would go to the arena. A lot of times I go to the Allstate Arena box office if I wanted to buy, tickets on sale this day or whatever. I did that for Chicago Rush tickets, the arena football team. I'd go on ticket, the day the tickets were going to drop. And nowadays it's like, well, yeah, obviously you just sit on your computer and refresh or whatever. But no, in those days it'd be like drive to the Allstate Arena and wait outside and, get to the ticket booth and be like, do you have any tickets left for the, November 8th game against the, yeah. Against the Grand Rapids Rampage? Yeah, we do. Okay. Oh, great. I'll take 3 or whatever. Yeah, it's a good old, that's classic stuff.
I used to drive to the Meadowlands.
Yeah, I don't live that close to the Allstate Arena, by the way. That was a 35-minute drive for me to go get tickets.
Yeah, and I would just buy Nets tickets like at the literal fucking Meadowlands ticket window sometimes. So, that used to be an option too. Obviously, very different times. Now you just have tickets on your fucking phone. Quote unquote tickets, right? Do you miss having were you a ticket stub collector? Did you keep them?
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people miss that.
Yeah. I'm looking at one right now. I mean, thank God I have my Mark Burley perfect game ticket right here in front of me. Like, how I wouldn't have that now. What would I have now?
Yeah.
I'd have a fucking printout, my phone. I'm gonna take a screenshot of my phone and put it in a. There's no way. But like here, yeah, I had a. There's another. It's in the other room. I have a whole picture frame that's just filled with tickets. At one point, I was gonna make a table with all my tickets or whatever. Can't do that anymore.
Nope.
Worse yet,
Nope.
and Chris Sampson will attest to this. We all figured this out when the White Sox were on their. Were going for their all-time losing streak. I went to obviously, of course, they avoided it because they're assholes and made sure to not do it at home and do it on the road. But I went to their last 3 games because I wanted to be there for history, to see them set the record or whatever. And I had a digital ticket, and I walked up to the will call and I said, "Can I get a real ticket for this?" And they would not give it to me. And I was like, "But I want and they were like, "Well, we're out of tickets."
They won't even print them.
No, they won't even print them, which sucked. And then they basically had no scorecards. So I eventually found a scorecard. And Chris Sampson will attest to this, that he brought his child for one of those games and wanted to get a baby's first. They have this thing where it's like your first White Sox game or whatever. So you get this little certificate. It's been your first White Sox game and it's got the date on it or whatever. I have one. I have one at my house from my first game that my dad took me to back in 1993 or whatever. And it's like, your first White Sox game, whatever. They didn't have them. Chris went there and they're like, "Oh, we don't have any more." He's like, "Come on, it's a fucking." Yeah. They're like, "Oh, you could digitally get it." He's like, "I don't want it digitally. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not a digital thing. They're like, some things have to be physical. My baby's first game certificate needs to be a physical thing. It doesn't work in an email, right?"
Yeah, it's not the same. But
no,
people don't care and they don't get it anymore.
Yeah, so they sold out. They ran out of tickets and they ran out of game certificates. It was just a clown, very typical White Sox shit to do. But it didn't matter. They didn't set the record anyway.
Yeah, you reverse mushed. I know the MLB Ballpark app does track all of the games you went to and brings you to the box score, and you can store your pictures in it. And, so it has all the games I went to in Houston, Cincinnati, and all that. It's not the same though. It's not the same as having that physical, it's cool that they do that and they help you track all that stuff and you can remember the games you went to. But anyway, that's the Don Gatto show. We'll talk. But let's go through this show first and review the rest of this, and then we'll talk about what's coming up. So, by the way, Mystico is your Opera Cup champion. We didn't even talk about who won the actual.
Whoa, no. He's
semifinal. You're right.
No, it's him and Volador Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you're right, but.
Spoiler alert.
I think you're right, but it hasn't happened yet.
I didn't mean it that way, yes, he wins the semifinal against Austin Aries. Volador defeats Satoshi Kojima. It was just a bunch of fucking run-ins. Volador comes down with Magnus and Ruhito, and they just cheat up a storm.
T-shirt time for Volador too. Yeah, he ain't taking that T-shirt off either.
T-shirt time, and we all know Satoshi Kojima is a man of limited bumps. So at this stage, so he's more than happy to partake in a match like this. So there's really nothing to see here. This was just loaded with a bunch of shenanigans, and Volador moves on. So we'll have the very much heel Volador Jr., who wrestles a total heel style here against the babyface Mystico in the Opera Cup final, where Mystico will shortly take home the trophy with decades and decades of history. So that was your Opera Cup
will be. I think he'll be the only person in history, Don Dombrowski told me, in the illustrious history of the Opera Cup, who will go back to back. Nobody has ever done it, ever. Not Stu Hart, not Davey Boy Smith Jr., not Tom Lawler, nobody else. Only Mystico.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't see any repeat winners.
No, there's Stu Hart, and then there's nobody for 77 years, and then there's Davey Boy Smith. Yeah, he didn't repeat either. So
Templario successfully defends the MLW middleweight title against Virus, and this match rocked too.
Yes,
did you love this as much as I did?
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
the crowd appreciated it too, which was really cool.
Yeah, this is how I sell MLW to that friend I was talking about. I'm like, no, it's not bad. Like, there's certain shit you got to skip, but the CMLL guys come in, and like Templario Virus, for example, was a really good match. it seems like the working shoes are on a little more often in MLW these days for whatever the reason is with a lot of these guys that they're bringing in. Maybe because he's bringing them in every taping and they're getting steady work. Like they know this is a secondary income. In some cases for these guys, like a third place to make money because a lot of these guys are working AEW too. So, and it's like once a month and they come in and maybe you have to work 2 matches if you're working the live show and the taping. But I mean, there was no lack of effort here at all. These guys went out there and had a kick-ass match that you would expect, the quality of match you would expect from Templario.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's some guys that come to MLW and they kind of slag off or they and Volador is probably one of those, but he's kind of doing that gimmick in CMLL as well. But like he kind of, he takes it easy and does the most basic stuff. But a lot of the other guys go out there and they work their ass off. And Templario is one that every time he's been MLW, he's worked his ass off. So it's cool.
Yeah, no doubt. So we had, so this was all very confusing to me. So the show opens up with Matt Riddle doing a vignette with Cesar Duran and
Selena De La Renta. Yep.
And he's back to being like the dumb stoner. Where's the rude dude? Right? Didn't you know? Like he's a babyface again in this little pre-tape that they did.
Yeah, he comes in and they're like, Cesar's like, Matt Riddle, how are you? And he's like, I'm good, man, but like, why am I not getting a title shot, man? Like,
Yeah.
Did you catch the one line too where Selena's like, well, you're gonna have to go back to your OnlyFans. He goes, there's more of that for you if you want it, babe. Yeah.
No. That you missed a key word. She was like, ugh. You're going to have to go back to that disgusting OnlyFans of yours. And he was like, oh, well, there's more of that if you want to see it, babe. And then
right, that she tightens up her blouse, kind of buttons it.
Yeah, making faces like, ugh, like gross, Yeah. And so,
but yeah, he wasn't the rude dude. He was a stoner. Yeah, he was like Matt Riddle's stoner guy. Yeah.
But he was wearing the gear that said RD.
I don't know.
He's wearing the rude dude gear, but he's back to being the dumb stoner. And that was weird. And then he's teaming with Mads Cruel Krugar, who is still part of Contra, who I take as a heel.
They're definitely heels. I think everyone's heels. I think the best way to figure this out is everybody is heels in this main event scene.
There's MLW fans, there's renegades in our Discord who think that Krugar is a babyface now. I don't buy it.
No,
he's in Contra.
Contra can't be babyfaces.
Right, because they're against MLW. They're like, it's a whole NWO kind of thing with Contra. So I know they're feuding with the Skyscrapers, who are definitely heels.
That's what I'm saying. I think everyone's heels. And Hammerstone's a heel too.
I think that Hammerstone, I don't know. He might be a face. But Riddle, Rude Dude, is a heel. The problem I have here is I don't know if he was Rude Dude for this match. Did they tape this before he became the Rude Dude?
I don't think so, because the crowd booed him a lot. More than they booed him in the previous match.
They didn't boo him in the previous match. He clapped hands, and then he became Rude Dude.
Right. But they booed him at the beginning of this match. And he came out and was like, giving the fans shit. I think he's just really bad at doing this gimmick. So, I don't know. It was weird. Yeah. It was weird.
It's weird, because he's teaming with a heel, but he's acting like a face. Why would you air a pre-tape where he's being like the stoner babyface if he turned heel the show prior? So my question is, do we have continuity errors here, or is Matt Riddle just bad at his job?
I think Matt Riddle's probably bad at his job, I think.
You think Matt Riddle's bad at his job?
I think. The pre-tape threw everything for a loop, though. I don't know, because the pre-tape, he was just straight up stoner Matt Riddle, like, man, why don't I get a title shot, dude? Like, yeah, like, it was definitely not the rude dude. But he came out and was he was more of an asshole to the fans on the way to the ring, so I think he had already turned in the way the taping was structured.
Well, this wasn't even a real match. So this was supposed to be for the tag team titles, but then Hammerstone hopped in the ring and was brawling with Riddle. And so we didn't really get a tag team title match here anyway. So no matter where you think any of these 5 men are aligned, this was kind of a bait and switch. Now, if you're going to complain about a bait and switch on a free MLW show on YouTube,
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
You've got levels of grumpy that even surpass me, but you did not get your tag team title match here. Let's shoot to the top and then work our way down the card. Let's do it that way since we did the business end. We opened up with open weight title 3-way, MLW National open weight title. Blue Panther defending against both Atlantis and Ruhito. Now, I give Ruhito a lot of credit because he was asked to go in there with 2 60-year-old guys. Now, listen, Blue Panther's had a good year. He really has. Atlantis is starting, but he's really showing his age.
Yeah, he is. It's getting pretty
now
rough.
On certain nights he can look okay, and I think he's looked okay in MLW on certain nights. This was not great, but
it was pretty bad. This is a bad match.
I don't know. I saw people saying it was terrible before I watched it, and then I watched it, and it wasn't as bad as people said it was. So maybe because my bar was set so low, you see what I'm saying? I was waiting to see something that was awful. I didn't think it was awful, but there is a lesson here in that maybe cool it on featuring guys that are like 65 years old.
Yeah.
And Ruhito, who's not that great himself. Ruhito's like a replacement level wrestler. So it's like, if you're going to do a 3-way with two guys that are like 65 years old, I don't know if Ruhito is the guy that you're necessarily going to ask to carry things. I did think it was funny, though, that on certain dives and topes and stuff to the outside, that it was Ruhito taking most of the floor bumps.
Oh, of course.
Which is logical, of course. But
it just felt like these guys weren't prepared to have a 3-way match and didn't know how to do 3-way match spots or whatever. It was very sloppy and very weird. And yeah, maybe it should be Blue Panther. And then if you're going to have Blue Panther, the other two guys have to be young. Or if you're going to have Atlantis, the other two guys have to be young. Maybe don't put Blue Panther, Atlantis, and a young guy. It just didn't. Yeah, it was clunky.
I think he wanted to get Blue Panther and Atlantis in there, but knew that those two guys in the singles match would have been really, really
right.
So they threw the third guy in. Then we got So then we have the Mads Krugar thing, and my notes just say, because he had like a promo, is he a babyface? Is he a heel? Nobody knows. I still think he's a heel. I'm still on the side that he's a heel. We saw Blue Panther advising Diego Hill, giving him some sage advice, and Diego kind of rubbing the chin, like, yeah, that's, So,
they should have put this in a different spot too, because they had this they had Blue Panther win this match, then they went to Matt Riddle, and then they went backstage to Blue Panther, and Joe Dombrowski's like, just minutes after defeating Blue Panther. Yeah. It's like he's in completely different clothes. It's like come on, like he didn't.
Yeah, pretty bad.
I'm like, put this like an hour later. Do not have this right now. It looks ridiculous. It's right now. But I guess you couldn't have it be an hour later because Diego Hill in this scramble was going to be. But they could have just said, earlier today we caught Blue Panther giving advice to Diego Hill, but Dombrowski played it off like fresh off his defeat of Ruhito. Blue Panther's giving advice to Diego Hill. But anyway. So
Shotzi Blackheart defeats Brittany Brooks in a lightning match. God bless Court Bauer. I mean, he's just running with this lightning match thing. What's funny about all these lightning matches in MLW is these are just going to be sub 10-minute matches anyway.
Which is what most matches are in this company.
Yeah, so he's just dressing them up by calling them lightning matches. Yeah. It's such wrestling promoter fucking bullshit, but I love it. So she it's not like they went to the limit.
No,
right?
This was 7 minutes. It wasn't even up against the limit at all.
Which I like that. I don't think every lightning match should be there's 9:55 left, because that's like, all right, now it's stupid. Every now and then you just got to beat somebody. So what happens here is Shotzi is later attacked by a masked figure who we all think is Penelope. What's her name now?
Priscilla
again?
Kelly.
Priscilla Kelly. Okay, got to get used to calling her Priscilla Kelly again, because Priscilla's been calling her out and they're facing each other on the Don Gatto show. But obviously that assailant was not Priscilla Kelly, right?
No.
I mean, that's obviously going to be someone else, but Shotzi thinks it's Priscilla Kelly. So we'll see if they add a third person to their women's division. They typically only have two people in their women's division at a time, but we'll see what happens there. And then they use like locals like Brittany Brooks.
Right.
Or who's the one in Texas? Quintanilla. Alejandra Quintanilla is the local they use in Texas, but they're not really they're just there to lose. All right, so Diego Hill.
By the way, this match was fucking awful, and it was a taped match. And guess what? So they had a bunch. Shoko Nakajima was in the crowd, presumably, for this match. I don't know if she was actually there or they used an old shot of Shoko Nakajima watching a match, but you could tell they were using those shots of her watching the match to edit around all the mistakes that Brittany Brooks and Shotzi Blackheart were happening. Like that, something that I noticed. I don't know if you noticed that. I noticed it from being somebody who's done TV production before and done video production, that they were clearly, when they couldn't figure out how to edit the spot to get around how horrible it looked, they just did a Shoko Nakajima, reaction. And it's her going,
right.
her going, ooh, her going, ah, you know,
Yeah.
it's just like, and there was a lot of them. Like, because I saw people being like, why do they keep cutting to her? And I'm like, that's because they're trying to cover up. Something got fucked up between Shotzi and Brittany, and they're just like, all right, just fucking cut to Shoko Nakajima again. But yeah, I don't even know if she was there. I literally don't. They may have just shot that at another show. Yeah, I think she worked the first taping, so maybe she was there.
She worked the first end of the show. I don't know, but I forgot about Nakajima. They have 3 women.
Yeah, they have 3. Yeah.
Because they brought in Priscilla Kelly. It was 2 with Shotzi and Nakajima. And every now and then they'll bring in a Tokyo Joshi Pro woman to lose to Nakajima, like in as a guest or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's unfair to say. I mean,
they have 4. They at least have 4.
They have Shotzi, Priscilla Kelly, who hasn't wrestled yet, Nakajima, she's the champion, and that's it. The rest are just cycled locals and Tokyo Joshi Pro people, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are any of the TJPW women regulars like Nakajima is? I don't think so.
No. God, no.
It's opponent of the. It's like the opponent of the month.
Right.
So they have 3 women, and they supplement it with locals and TJPW talent. Well, actually, before we get to the 5-way, the Good Brothers will debut at the Don Gato show. So the Good Brothers are coming to MLW. They also debuted in NWA. We will see that next August when it airs on Roku. But so the Good Brothers are finding work.
Yeah.
And as they always do in both the NWA and MLW, they want those tag team titles. They called out the Skyscrapers. In fact, they called out the Skyscrapers before the Skyscrapers even defended the titles against Mad Kruger and Matt
come
Riddle.
on, guys.
Which, again, continuity. Why couldn't we air the Good Brother thing after the World Tag Team title match? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I think the Riddle stuff may have just been out of order.
Yeah, very possible. Very possible.
You know, because it's a sloppy shop over here. Let's be honest.
Sometimes it gets a little sloppy. Yeah, sometimes it gets a little sloppy. But I should mention while we're talking about Shotzi, I don't know. Are you going to bring up her segments ever again, or no? Was that it? Because you mentioned that she got attacked by Priscilla Kelly.
Then she was looking in the different offices for the attacker.
So she ends up in Cesar Duran and Selena De La Renta, and this is always a highlight of these shows. You know how we used to say, like, why are these people employed? This is really stupid. I've now turned the corner because you get Cesar Duran saying people's names, and he's like, Shasi. He doesn't know how to say Shotzi. It's like Shashi. He's calling her Shashi. He goes, Shashi. You will get what you want. You will get Priscilla Kelly in Charleston at Tangato Lucha de los Muertes.
But the match,
Yeah. But then she grabs his bottle of Don Gato tequila and he goes, hey, that's my bottle of Don Gato tequila. And I'm like, oh my God. The product placement in this show is just insane.
And she chugs it.
Yes, a big old gulp.
She chugs the tequila and then takes the bottle too. And then Cesar Duran and what they call it, Mexican medicine. They called it Mexican medicine.
Shashi.
Shashi, you took my Mexican medicine. Do not take my Mexican. And she took off with the bottle.
And Selena's like, hey, where you going with that? You know, it's just like, what is this?
Because apparently the father-daughter are just sitting there getting drunk on tequila all night.
I guess, yeah. Hey, you know what?
How much tequila can you drink before you're on the floor?
I don't know. Well, they seem to be.
They seem to, I mean, you know, and so she just took, Shashi took off with the bottle.
Because later in
the
he was basically like Chachi,
like Scott Baio on Happy Days. He's like he's like the Fonz. He's calling her Chachi. Where's Joni? Fucking Joni and Chachi over here.
And later he had to say bunkhouse for our boy Brock Anderson, which we'll talk about in a second. He had to say. He said like I don't even remember how he said bunkhouse, but it was some way where I was like, "That's how you said bunkhouse, huh?" All right, well, whatever.
I think he does it for effect.
I think so too. It's great. I love it.
Now, I'm not a fan of people who mispronounce things.
It's sloppy and it's unprofessional. I agree.
Yeah, you got to get these things right. But all right, so Good Brothers debut. Oh, so Good Brothers again. Doc Gallows cutting most of this promo, and they said they're coming to South Carolina for the Skyscrapers, and we're also coming for some of that Don Gato tequila.
Right.
And
he's like, Carl doesn't drink, but I sure do.
Yeah. And we're all going to share a shot of that delicious Don Gato tequila. Not Carl. Carl's sober. Carl is sober. But the rest of us, we're going to get blasted on this Don Gato tequila. and then we're going to beat the Sky. And Carl's just, standing there. He's just a bystander.
Machine gun just chilling, yeah.
It's just, fantastic stuff. So they're coming to face the Skyscrapers. That match is already booked. Brock Anderson.
We're doing a Brock Anderson push. You always wanted him in singles matches, and you fucking got it, brother.
And we got it. Brock Anderson cuts the promo of his life.
It was a pretty good promo.
On Mads Kruger. Now, it might be the only promo he's ever cut, but he cuts the promo of his life. He's got his head down. And I unironically enjoyed this promo because he's like, look.
His family member's dead. They fucking died.
I've always been able to count on CW, but he's dead and he's gone. And then they show footage of him getting electrocuted.
Yeah, in canon, he is dead. CW Anderson is a dead man.
Dead. CW Anderson is dead. He's fucking dead. And they showed him getting electrocuted by Kruger in the cage as Brock Anderson is sullen in the back. And if Dynamite ever did this, I'd bury them so far under the fucking earth. But it's like different. The vibes are different.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with this in MLW. It's like when people would watch Lucha Underground and they wouldn't have a problem. Like I would have a problem, but people wouldn't because they're like, oh, the vibes are different. Like the vibes are different here. So he's talking about how he doesn't have CW. But he wants to get his hands on Mads Kruger for killing his uncle or whatever the fuck he is in kayfabe. Cousin, uncle, fucking third cousin twice removed. I don't fucking know. And then he gives this great line. I don't know if you caught this. He goes, now I know I haven't done nothing to earn a title shot in this area.
I like that. That's a nice touch though. That's an attention to detail.
Like he's in a fucking like he's cutting a promo in Portland in '82. He's so great.
And he knows he's not in the top of the rankings, but he wants a damn title shot. So.
But that don't mean I can't get in the ring with Mads Kruger, and that's what I'm asking MLW to do. And then he walks off, and he's gonna have a bunkhouse match with Mads Kruger in South Carolina. And I love that he acknowledged that he's not the highest ranked guy, and he knows he hasn't earned a title shot. You give me those little morsels in pro wrestling, and I am on the floor eating them up like a fucking rat. I get on the floor on my belly, on my hands and knees, fucking eating up the morsels. That's all you need to give me, Rich. I don't ask for a lot in pro wrestling. I ask for no puppets, and I ask for just a little bit of morsel of competition. And treating it like it's a sport. Just a little bit. That's all I want. Am I asking for too much? Look how happy this stupid promo made me.
There was an episode of one of the territory shows I was watching for Tour of the Territories, and there was some jobber in the ring with a champion or whatever, and I forget who it was, who the commentator was, I forget the promotion, but all it took was the announcer saying, well, clearly this is not a title match because, of course, he has not won recently here. Like some random jobber dude. And it's like today's wrestling, that jobber, it would just be announced as a, TBS or a TNT title match or whatever.
Or eliminator match.
Right. Or Tony at least tries to do the eliminator gimmick or whatever. But like in the territories, it was just like, well, clearly this cannot be a title match because this guy clearly has not earned it. And I was just like, oh my God, can you imagine that happening in today's wrestling where it's just like, well, this guy's a fucking, he hasn't won any matches. But
now sometimes they'll do that. But I think what they're afraid of is burying the guy by saying he's not worthy of a title match. I think that's why promotions don't do it. Sometimes they'll do it with like.
But if you push nobody, like you got to push somebody. Who do you want me to think? I'm coming into this match. Who do you want me to think is the star, and who do you want me to think is not the star? You know what I mean? And it's all this 50-50. Oh, I can't put anybody over too much. Oh, you can't bury anybody. No, you know what? If you got to bury the fucking jobber to put over the star, then bury the fucking jobber to put over the star. It's okay.
I think Tony's mindset is if AR Fox has a match with a champion and we call it non-title, it makes AR Fox look bad. So we'll just call it a title eliminator
who cares?
To make it look like. Yeah, I think that's the mindset.
Yeah, well, it's a stupid mindset.
I think that's the mindset. But listen, Brock Anderson himself said I don't deserve a title shot, so he's not getting one. But he's getting Mads Kruger in the ring in a bunkhouse match to avenge the death, apparently, of his fucking uncle, cousin, brother. I don't know what he's supposed to be. What is he? Is he? Did they specify?
He said it, but I forget what it's supposed to be. It's
cousin or uncle.
It's cousin or uncle, but I forget which one.
All right. So would that make him like Lars Anderson's son?
In
CW,
canon, in Anderson canon, yeah, I think so.
If he's a cousin, it would be like Lars or Ole's son, and because it's Arn. Arn was their Arn was their cousin.
Arn was their cousin. Yeah. Well, then I think at first he was a cousin, but then he became a brother, right?
And he was a brother or cousin. Yeah.
No, I think he started as a cousin, but then eventually got turned into a brother.
Depended on the territory, right?
Yeah.
Brother, cousin. So who the fuck knows? That's a family bush. That's not even a family tree.
No, the Anderson family is it's all over the place for sure.
We can't work that out. All right. So then we had the 5-way with Diego Hill winning over Akira Kwan, Magnus, Okamura, and Stigma. And if that's not a Fire Pro random button match, I don't know what the fuck is. Now, Diego Hill is exactly what we said MLW was lacking several months ago before they brought him in and signed him, is an up-and-coming guy. They used to thrive on that, and they didn't have any. Well, they've got Diego Hill, and they're giving him an honest push. And I think he's a decent prospect.
They're doing a good job of it too. And this is what I talk about. Where tell me who you want to be over. Who I'm watching this match. Tell me who I should care about. Tell me who the star of this match is. Who you're pushing. Whose arrows pointed up. It was very clear in this match. It was Diego Hill. The entire match they're talking about Diego Hill. They're giving you his whole background. They're talking about how he became a wrestler. You know what he's done. All this sort of stuff. And while this is all happening, he's doing a bunch of crazy moves and he looks great. And then he wins the match. And then Blue Panther comes in the ring and points and goes, "This guy right here." You know what I mean? And it's like. And the crowd's reacting. It's not that hard. Just tell me who you want to be important. Who do you think is a future star or a current star or whatever? Just tell me. Just tell the audience. And they will, if you do it right, they will react to it. So Diego Hill in only a couple of months now is getting big reactions and people care about him now. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
And he's good. And he's good. He's good wrestler.
He's good. He's doing a nice job. There's no doubt about it. So, that was it, because we talked about the rest of the show. But yeah, it was the right winner, Diego Hill. It got a big pop, so he's starting to get over. And then we had the Shotzi and Priscilla stuff we talked about, and then all the matches that we're going to talk about. So that was MLW, Symphony of Horrors. And what they've got coming up next is the Don Gato Lucha de los Muertos on the 20th of November. So we've got a bit of a gap before we get to, we're going to be fiending for our MLW. It's going to be a while here. So this is the Charleston Music Hall. Tickets are not going fast. So if you live anywhere near the Carolinas and you want to check out MLW, here's the card. Pit fighter match. Killer Cross versus Matt Riddle in a pit fighter match. Pit Fighter is one of the most putrid video games.
Sucks. Oh God, how horrible was that game?
Pit Fighter, yeah. So
I remember bringing that home one time because it looks great. The cover looks awesome. And the like the screenshots on the back look great. You're like, oh baby, this is gonna rock.
Unique graphics, like the unique graphic look. Yeah. So
I remember bringing that fucker home and being like, what is this? This is so bad.
You know what I'm curious of though? Are they gonna try to do the entrance in MLW? The lip syncing by Scarlett.
Probably. There's not much else. There's not much else. So yeah, probably.
The dry ice, the fucking. But is MLW equipped to do like the camera shots and the heavy production?
That's true. There is a lot that goes into it.
Now, I, like you, were busy washing your hair, too busy washing your hair to watch NXT Halloween Havoc today. I've been too busy washing my hair to watch Killer Cross's indie matches. I haven't caught any yet.
Believe it or not, I've missed all of them too. So
I haven't. They're on my backlog. Maybe I'll get to them.
They're in your queue. They're in your YouTube queue. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that Defy show. I just got to slap play. But the point here is he doing the entrance on these indie shows?
I don't know.
Or attempting to do the
entrance.
I
don't know that.
MLW, are they going to be able to handle production-wise? Because without that entrance, Rich, what do we really have going here?
Not much.
There's not much there. Shotzi Blackheart versus Priscilla Kelly. They will finally mix it up. I have to say, well-built match.
Oh, yeah. Priscilla's doing these promos where she's like, I was here when MLW was built, and now I'm going to burn it to the ground or whatever. It's I'm like, all right, here we go. This is pretty interesting here. Shotzi, why do you get all these fun you get the red carpet rolled out for you. Well, I was here and built MLW from the ground. It's like good stuff. It's real stakes.
It's a well-built match. Yeah.
It won't be very good. It probably won't be very good, but you know.
I don't know. Priscilla's not bad.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Shotzi.
She's solid. Yeah, Shotzi's pretty shitty. Shotzi's terrible. Yeah.
Chachi,
Chachi's no good. Chachi's no good.
Scott Baio struggles a little.
Yeah. Hell's favorite harlot or whatever she called it. Yeah, she's pretty good, but Chachi, not so much.
Opera Cup final. Mystico Volador Jr. Mega babyface versus shitter heel. I'm looking at the rest of this card. I don't think Magnus and Ruhito are going to be at Volador's side. They're not on the show.
Oh, uh-oh.
So he's going to have to fight mano y mano, as they like to say in Lucha Libre, against Mystico, right? MLW tag team titles. Skyscrapers defend against the Good Brothers. I know you're going to call me a sicko, but hear me out.
It sounds, if you're so put that match over, I agree. It sounds awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
Of course. The Skyscrapers rock. Yeah. Like I don't like those guys, but the Skyscrapers combined actually rocks. It's the best use of both dudes. I'm pro Skyscrapers.
I don't know why I'm looking forward to it. I can't articulate that for you. But it on paper, I'm like, and look, I know it's gonna stink. Listen. Do I think
it might not? Hold on, it might not stink.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I mean, it probably will. It probably will, but it might not.
Do you think Suntan, Biker Man, and Machine Gunka are going to work hard here? On? You think they're going to work hard here? Because I don't think they're going to work hard.
Probably not. No.
But on paper, it's an interesting looking match. Don Gato Gauntlet Tag Team match. All right, we've got
a lot of product placement in that one. I'm sure of it.
Atlantis and his son. So we've got Atlantis and Atlantis Jr. We've got Felino and Negro Casas. And what's the combined age? What are we working with here? Felino.
Oh, Felino. Yeah, he's.
Negro Casas is 65.
Felino's 61.
Is 61.
Yeah.
126 is the combined age of that tag team. Blue Panther and Blue Panther Jr. And then the Dead Pirates, Barboza and Defunto. So a gauntlet match. That's not a 4-way match. Get it straight, Rich.
Okay, it's a gauntlet.
It's a Don Gato gauntlet match.
Well, we don't actually, to be fair, we don't know the rules. We don't know the rules just yet. I don't know I've never seen a Don Gato gauntlet match yet. So it could be anything.
Well, let me tell you, if they're calling it a gauntlet match, it better fucking be a gauntlet match, or I'm going to be upset. I want 2 teams in the ring at a time.
And then someone wins, and then a new person.
And then another team comes down. Yeah. That's what I want. I don't want none of this other. Don't be trying to reinvent the wheel. And I'm sure Don Gato will be sitting ringside in that throne because this is the Don Gato gauntlet match. And then Mads Kruger. No, he does not defend. I don't think this is correct.
No, no. If you go to MLW's website, I think he got a title match.
They made it a title match?
I will double check, but yep, right here on MLW. Here, I'll read it exactly from the horse's mouth. With CW, okay, there is a score to settle in the Holy City after what Mads Kruger did to CW Anderson inside the Chamber of Horrors. Brock Anderson says there's a price to pay, and he's coming to collect. With CW Anderson missing in action following the savage Chamber of Horrors encounter, this fight has become personal for the Anderson family. For this special bout, Brock's father, the legendary Arn Anderson, will return to ringside to corner his son as part of a triple main event spectacular, bringing with him the same grit, fire, and strategy that made him one of sports' most respected figures. It does say, let me eventually, it's taking too long. This will be a championship bout. This championship bout will be contested under bunkhouse rules, a fight born in the South and made famous by tough-as-nails brawlers who settled scores the hard way.
Well, what the fuck? We just put him over for not making it a title match, and now it's a title match?
Yeah.
Delete the tape. All right, so Kruger defends against Brock in a bunkhouse match, despite the fact that Brock himself said he hasn't earned a title match. So that's the Don Gato show coming up on the 20th. And then will Danny McBride make an appearance?
I mean, he lives there, so he probably should, but he probably will not.
Wait, he lives in Charleston?
Yeah.
That's why they're doing it there?
Yeah.
That makes sense. He's not stepping on a plane.
No, hell no.
All right, and then we close out the year with Kings of Coliseum, and no, that's next year. This is it.
Is this it?
This is it.
Oh, my God.
This is it for MLW for the rest of the year.
Man.
They're going dark in December.
Gonna have to raise a glass of Don Gato tequila to the end of MLW in 2025. Damn.
We are. Oh, that's a little that took the wind out of me. They're not running in December.
What are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do with?
Remember that one year they had a match on like they had a show on like Christmas Eve or whatever. I was like, what are you doing? No one's gonna watch that show on Christmas Eve. But,
what are we gonna do without this 5 out of 10 perfectly crumulent
I know
wrestling promotion that's keeping all of our enthusiasm for pro wrestling
I know.
alive?
I'm thinking about that. Yeah, it's tough.
Based on the fact that they're merely average, what are we going to do without them?
I don't know.
It's like the string holding all of it together.
It really is. It is lifted this entire show for months on end. Could
you imagine this podcast without MLW?
I can't actually. That would be bad.
What would we do?
I don't know.
Would we have to talk about SmackDown or something?
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, would I have to like start watching DDT again?
Yeah, we'd probably have to start watching DDT or like check in on Big Japan every so often.
What would happen is you would talk about Joshi and I would go take a shit.
Probably sounds right.
That's probably what would happen if we didn't have so much MLW content to keep things going. Because you're always more than welcome to talk Joshi.
I am.
And listen, I'm a pro. I know what to questions to I'll listen along and know what to ask you as follow-ups and things. We could do that. I'd be very good at that. But that's up to you. That's up to you. You could always work that in.
Well, maybe in December I'll have to work it in since we don't have MLW.
You might have to. We don't have MLW, and that's 2 shows. You know what I'm saying? They run 2 shows a month. We get the live show and the tape show. That's like 2 flagships that won't have MLW content.
I know. It's going to be a big gap.
It's a big gap. What are we going to do? I don't want to check in on DDT. Fucking Dinshenko Dino? No, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you at all. Yeah.
Okay. I was ahead of the curve on that one too. Some are saying, Rich Craig, that Joe Lanza is very woke. Some are saying, I don't want to watch, I have no interest in doing that. I can't take up Joshi at this point in my life. It's intimidating. There's so much of it. I have so much to learn. I can't do it. So I don't know how we're going to fill the hours.
We'll find a way.
We'll figure it out.
We always do. We always do. I look at the run sheet of this show, and we're 244 in. I mean, there's always a way. Someone
will die. Do an hour obituary on somebody, and haven't had one in a while.
No,
luckily,
fingers crossed. It has been a while. So yeah, I was a little prepared for a Mike Rotunda this time, but not the case. He's good.
Luckily, Mike Rotunda is not in hospice and is not dying. So,
and Abdullah the Butcher was last week too, and I was kind of like, all right, better start. And then he's fine for now. So,
brother, I was watching so many Captain Mike matches this week, you wouldn't even believe
why.
Okay, so
were they all very boring? Was he sweating a lot?
He was very sweaty. He's the sweatiest wrestler ever. But yeah, I was pre-gaming our obituary by watching Mike Rotunda footage that I either hadn't seen or didn't remember. Like, I'm good on, like, US Express. I'm good on,
you've seen all that. Yeah, you've seen all that.
I'm good on IRS. I'm good on that era. I don't have to rewatch IRS.
I would rewatch some of the Varsity Club stuff, and I rewatch some of the Captain Mike Rotunda stuff. Because that's, I think, when he was actually good. There was a couple-year period where I think he was okay, and it's that period right there.
I'm good on Michael Wall Street. I remember that very well.
VK Wall Street. You don't have to watch your VK Wall Street tapes.
Now, does my YouTube search have a lot of Captain Mike Rotunda in it this week from that period? Yeah, I have to say that it does. Was I seeing how much Florida Mike Rotunda I could dig up? Yeah, maybe I was doing that. But luckily, it doesn't matter because that was apparently a very overblown story. His family clarified that he is not in hospice, but rather rehabilitating from a heart attack and, doing well, not on death's door like some had been speculating.
So big difference there, Barry. just for the future, Barry.
That's Barry Windham who said that?
Barry Windham, yeah, big difference. Big difference between rehab and hospice. So
yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, come on.
I did definitely watch the. We'll talk about it if whenever the time might come in the future that Mike Rotunda does pass away. Death Row versus Mike Rotunda, the only time Mike Rotunda was ever interesting to me was that when beating up
Death
that jobber, Death Row.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you had to have seen this match.
Mike Rotunda versus Death Row.
Yes, watch it later. You've seen it. I'm positive you've seen it.
What territory is this?
This is World Championship Wrestling. This is NWA.
Mike Rotunda or Rotundo? Rotunda
I don't know what they
versus
called him at that time. I think it was Rotunda at that time.
It was the A everywhere, but WWE. Death Row. No, I've never seen this. I gotta
my
save
God.
this. Huh?
You've never seen this? Okay, are we watching it now?
1990.
Yeah.
You want me to live? Watch
yeah.
it. All right. So the watch along. Mike Rotunda versus Death Row.
Yep.
This is from
I'll have it up
October.
to, let me know when you hit play, and I'll hit play as well with you.
October 27th, 1990. I've got it paused.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
In 3, 2, 1, slap play. All right. So here we go.
So you got the shot of the crowd. Death Row's in the ring there waiting. Mike Rotunda.
Oh, he's
walking
Captain
down.
Mike here.
Yeah, it's Captain Mike. Yeah, with the.
He doesn't have the little hat though.
No, he's got the collar though. He's got the collar.
He's got the collar. He's got the boat jacket, and he's got the little fucking anchor on his ass. Death Row. Who is this man?
Well, you're gonna find out.
Have you researched this man?
I'll tell you in a little bit. Let's.
Oh, okay. Is this Kareem Muhammad from?
I don't think so. Well, it might be actually. I don't know.
He looks familiar, Death Row.
He does.
He's the Zambui Express. Is he one of those two?
Maybe. Let me see if I can find out.
All right, let's see. We got a side headlock from Death Row.
Nice tight side headlock. Yeah.
Yeah. Throw him in. Nice shoulder block. See, this is that tight work we're talking about. That Death Row got over for that hip toss. He's working hard here, the big man. Mike Rotunda leaving his feet with a drop kick.
Yeah, big move here.
Adjusting those tights like Misawa.
the only time anybody will ever compare.
I accidentally paused it.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Wait, I fell behind. I'm back at the drop kick. Adjusting the tights. All right, here we go. They lock up. Now you're ahead of me. So he's got him in the corner. Look at these overhands. I thought this was a squash, sir. Death Row's acquitting himself very well here.
Yeah.
When you said Mike Rotunda versus Death Row, I thought it was going to be like the No Limit Soldiers or something.
Oh, yeah. No.
But that's Death Row Records. Different record company.
Yeah.
Very different. Look at his side choke. He's trying to put him in a bully choke here. This is wrestling.
Yeah.
This is wrestling. Look at him trying to turn him over with the side choke.
So I believe he was supposed to be turned over.
Yeah, he's got him on his he's got him like a turtle. Now he just went to an armbar. He said, fuck it, I'm going to slap on an armbar because this guy doesn't know what I'm trying to do. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But you know what? It looked real.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a struggle. Death Row doesn't have much in the arsenal, I see. He just keeps going back to that corner splash. Mike firing back. Look at that anchor on his ass. He's a sailor now. He's a clipper. He really likes boats. Who came up with that?
That's a terrible gimmick, yeah.
What an awful gimmick.
Man who likes boats, who owns and likes boats.
Fucking your shitty uncle that no one likes who has the boat was his gimmick, basically. Your uppity uncle with the boat. And now look, he's trying to turn him over again. What is with Death Row?
Yeah, he doesn't know. So he loses his pants on one of them, and Mike just decides, I'm an amateur wrestler. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to grab this fucker's arm and just bend it back as much as I can.
Yeah, look at this.
But he won't give up. Like, Death Row won't tap, and I don't know when he was supposed to tap. I think that first initial takeover he was supposed to tap.
So I'm watching this. He's trying to chicken wing him.
Yeah.
Now he's giving up on the chicken wing. I think Death Row is like, well, that's not the finish I was given.
Yeah.
Now he gets him over. He hit him in the face. He punched him in the face.
Yeah.
Did you see that little rapid punch?
Uh-huh.
Bro, that turned into a shoot.
Yes, it did.
Look at Rotunda.
Yep.
How did I never know about this match?
That's great. Yeah.
He's hot.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know, but Death Row gets out of the ring right away, and he's going to the back, too. And I don't know what's happening, but
and we'll never see him again, I would suspect.
I don't think he appeared in WCW ever
Wow.
again. Yeah. So you might know this Death Row because he appeared in ECW, but only in Florida. ECW, he was Death Row 3260.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but he was only, it looked like only Florida. Oh, he showed up in UWF as well, but I really barely watched any UWF.
That man clearly had no idea what Rotunda was trying to do with him.
No.
And I think Rotunda with that chicken wing was wanting him to submit.
Yes. That first chicken wing, he thought, okay, I'll put him in that chicken wing and he'll submit. And then he didn't. And he's like, I got to call it on the fly with this fucker who doesn't know anything. So he's trying to lead him through it.
He's trying to turn him over, and the guy wouldn't turn over. And then he gives him that little rabbit punch. I got to watch it again.
Yeah, it's good.
It looks like he punches him in the face. And Rotunda's a big guy with amateur credentials. He could have stretched that guy if he wanted to. So I think, because that guy, he just looked like a fat blob. So then he gets him over, and he probably, the way he leaned in on the cover in a way to say, hey, look, you're stay down. This is the new finish. Yeah, that was a weird match.
Very weird. But entertaining.
Weird
but entertaining.
Match. Yeah, for sure. He should have he should have gave him the Iggy.
Speaking of the Iggy, yeah, perfect segue. Our man Rob Fish released a video on his YouTube channel called, quote, "The Truth About My Match with CM Punk." So it is Bobby Fish in his studio, I guess, and it's just like a black room with some red lights behind him, and it's just it's Bobby Fish talking shop. You know what I mean? It's just Bobby Fish being like, "All right, so you guys have been asking what happened with that CM Punk match, so I'll tell you." And he goes. And what's fascinating about this video is Bobby. I don't know who does Bobby Fish think is watching these videos, because he oscillates between explaining pro wrestling to somebody who's never watched pro wrestling at all, ever. Because he's like, yeah, so I worked a lot of places. I worked for ROH, Ring of Honor. I worked for WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. I also worked for AEW, All Elite Wrestling. And, I worked for all those companies. And, we get in the ring and, we discuss the match ahead of time before. I'm like, who do you think's watching this, Bob? Like, anybody watching this? And then at one point, he's talking about Irish whips. And he's like, yeah, so an Irish whip, which I guess I should explain, that's when you grab your opponent and throw him. And I'm like, Bob. it's
see, okay. I see what you're saying. He's explaining, he's assuming some of the viewers might not understand basic pro wrestling kayfabe. Like, in other words, what an Irish whip is, the fact it's cooperative. He explained what a jobber, like what doing the job means.
Yes.
He said in a pro wrestling, there's a winner and a loser. You're doing a job, and the loser does the honors and is the job guy because he's doing a job. He went in. It's kind of like, I know you didn't watch the show, but in the show Heels.
Oh, they do all that. Yeah.
Well, in the very first episode, there's this whole scene where the whole point of the scene is to teach non-wrestling fans what all of the wrestling terms that they're going to use on the show mean.
Okay. I sort of get that, because at least the understanding would be you might get some people that are watching.
Right, because it's a cable show.
Right.
Yeah. So what they have is they have this character who isn't part of the main cast, like ask about I forget which word it was. Like, let's just say it was jobber and then one of the characters goes, "Oh, this is what a jobber is." And then they do like this they build a wrestling insider term tutorial into the script of the show. And it's so clearly for the benefit of, like, if your mom is watching, so that she understands in episode 3, when somebody says the word kayfabe, oh, that means they're hiding in front. You know what I mean? Like, you know what it means. Like, so I think that's what Bob Fish is doing here.
I think so. But then he would also, at some points, and this happened, he's like, yeah, so an Irish whip is this and a jobber is this or whatever. But then at one point he's like, yeah, so I went into Ring of Honor because I was one of Tony DeVito's trainees. And I was like, who's Tony DeVito? Like, if you're listening to this, like, you just told me, like, Irish whip is when I grab my opponent. But then he's just like casually dropping Tony DeVito as if we all know who Tony DeVito, his trainer, is. And he's like, yeah, they brought me into Ring of Honor, of course, because I was one of Tony DeVito's trainers. So that was me and Cheech and Xavier and all these. And I'm like, hold on, you just got done explaining what a work is.
What you're saying is he's like switching his audience in a way, because first he's talking like you know nothing about wrestling, like you're an alien from another planet who never saw wrestling before. And on the other hand, he's talking about a obscure Eastern independent wrestler, Tony DeVito, being his trainer.
Yes.
Like, that's kind of what
it was just weird. I was like, well, Bobby, who's your target audience with this? You got to at least figure out the target audience. But All right. So then he explains and then I guess you can jump in here at this point. This is when he starts to explain what went down on October 27, 2021 on Dynamite when he had a match with CM Punk. So he talks about the week before where he came out and he interfered and CM Punk got mad or whatever, and that built to their match.
And he showed a clip.
Yeah,
he showed a clip.
Yeah.
They showed a clip of the angle where CM Punk runs him off. So he sets up why he was booked with CM Punk in the first place, right? And they show the clip. And then and then he shows the clip from the match because the whole point of the video is why did I kick out at 3.1 from the go to sleep in his words. So you have to understand Bob Fish and his cadence in the video. You have to watch the video. First of all, it's great, but he's so calm and so level and even keeled and totally not gotten to. At least that's what he's conveying.
Yeah.
Almost to the point where it's a little scary. Like he's the kind of guy that's so calm that it's almost unsettling how calm, especially when he starts telling the story. So he goes, so we were booked for the match that night. And it was
his Northeastern accent. Yeah.
Wait. And it was off to Mr. Brooks' locker room. His locker room was separate from everyone else's. Like he had to throw that in there.
Yeah. He didn't dress with the boys. He goes, his locker room was separate. He didn't dress with the boys.
He had a separate locker room, but he didn't say it in a way where it was obvious. He was, but you know what he was doing.
Yes, yeah. He was implying what a prima donna. He's got a separate locker room, but.
And he also brought
but
that up.
But he didn't smirk. He didn't smirk about it either. He didn't go, in a separate locker room. He just went, well, he didn't dress with the boys. He had his own locker room.
There's a subtlety to it to where he's just laying out the facts, but certain facts he's laying out are very intentional. Like he wants you to know this asshole didn't dress with us. And I had to go to his special locker room to talk about the match. Then he's like, very calmly talking down Punk's martial arts ability. He's like,
this is the best part. He's like, yeah. So, we had when he came back to wrestling, I was a little bit surprised because he was doing a lot of martial arts because he went to UFC, and I don't think he did a very good job of representing our sport because he went to UFC and he got killed. And when he came back to wrestling, he was doing a lot of martial arts stuff. And I'm a martial artist, and I like to think I'm a very good martial artist.
And then he was like, I have won several amateur fights. I have been a boxer. He laid out his whole fighting resume. And by the way, he has amateur fights on YouTube where he wins.
Yeah.
Now he fought he fought headgear MMA, amateur MMA with headgear, but still, like he made sure to let you know that Punk had his own locker room, and he made sure to let you know that Punk embarrassed himself in the UFC while he won his amateur fights and was also a semi-professional boxer.
And that when CM Punk came back, he incorporated a lot of that MMA into his wrestling, and Bob thought that was bad because he wasn't very good. It didn't look good because he lost in MMA.
Yeah. So then he talks about the match, right? And then obviously things go sideways in the match. And he talks about how he saw Punk and Tony talking off to the side. But
we should explain why he claims that he kicked out at 3.1.
Well, see, you want to do that now, or do you want to save it?
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
I wasn't going to skip that. I wanted to.
So for people that don't know, the match happens, the GTS happens, 1, 2, 3, and then at like 3.1, Bob Fish is up.
Right, he kicks out, and everyone was like, "What the fuck was that?" So anyway, after the match, he sees them talking, and he goes, "Now I know they were talking about me because they were staring at me as they were having this discussion." But see, it doesn't do. You have to watch.
You have to watch it with Bob Fish with his weird mustache in his weird room doing his. Yeah, you got to watch it. You got to watch it.
The subtlety of the way he lays it out, and it's just and you don't listen. It's like so. Then he goes, "So I walk over to them because I think men who are masculine should have no problem discussing problems with each other, which again was a direct sideswipe because what does Punk talk about all the time? One of Punk's big things is, men have to fight sometimes and throw fists because that's what men do. So what he was doing here was laying out that when he went over to see why they were looking at him and talking to him, he said they immediately split up and walked away. And then he criticized Punk for not being a masculine, manly man who wouldn't have a chat with him.
So he was basically throwing that right back in Punk's face, Punk's own arguments that he uses all the time. So this is all so good. But here's the thing. I don't think he's lying, because I totally believe him when he says Punk and Tony were talking and looking at him. And Punk was hot about the kick out. We know that. And I totally believe that as soon as he started to walk over there, they split up. Tony Khan, as we all know, is risk averse. He don't want nothing to do with conflict. So that he skedaddled right out of there. Okay. And that Punk didn't want nothing to do with this either. You know why? Because Bob Fish is not Jack Perry.
Yeah, he won amateur reference our most recent discussion about him winning MMA fights and being a legit martial artist.
Bob Fish is not young, hot, Briley Ryan Nemeth. Okay, so those are guys that Punk has no problem stepping into the face of. He probably wanted no part of an argument with a guy who he knows could kick his ass, but also a guy who's so calm and just that's scarier when a guy is this calm and level about it. So this thing is so good. So then he talks about how, and we'll get to why he says I want to say that's the end because I have something to wrap it all up with. So then he talks about how because he had to change in Punk's locker room, that's where all his clothes was. So he had to actually go back to Punk's. And this is where he said again, and he said this several times, where he once again brought up the fact, and I have the exact verbiage here, where he's like, and once again, I have to let you know, he had his own locker room because he didn't like to dress with the boys. So I had to go back to his own locker room. Punk dressed by himself. Punk had his own private dressing room. Have I mentioned that Punk had his own private dressing quarters?
And my clothes were in there because I had to go to his room to talk about our match. So I had to go to his private room with my clothes in his private room. And then when I was done with the match, I couldn't change with the boys because I had to go back to his room to get my, he mentioned it several times.
Yeah, so he basically, and then when he got in there, he tried to address the problem with Punk again, and that's when Punk kept saying, no, it's all right, everything's fine, everything's all right. I believe that men, when they're very masculine, should be able to talk out their problems, and I'm just fucking dying because these are just direct fucking shots.
Yep.
At CM Punk and all of CM Punk's mantras that he is always espousing. So then he goes into a different story where Red Dragon was programmed with FTR to have a series of matches with FTR. And the matches were very stiff because obviously FTR are Punk's boys. Red Dragon are Young Bucks adjacent. And this was during that very tumultuous time.
The Punk camp, during the peak of the Punk camp, yes.
And he said Dax was working real stiff with him. And he was like, Dax was working very stiff with me, but I didn't mind. I'm of the belief that pro wrestling isn't ballet, and I'll stiff you right back. And I think manly men should be able to stiff each other in a pro wrestling match. So I enjoyed those matches, but we then had a heated confrontation outside the arena. And upon returning to the locker room, it was Punk approached me to discuss my confrontation with Dax. And here's what he said verbatim. It was a locker room leader role that he bestowed upon himself. I didn't see him as a leader, so I let him know I was not interested in what he had to say.
And you can just see, the best part about it is you could see Bobby Fish saying, I'm not, to CM Punk's face, I'm not interested in what you're saying. And that just, Mount Brooks just erupting at the idea that this man would so calmly say, I don't see you as a locker room leader, and I'm not interested in what you have to say.
Well,
and as he turns his back to him,
The next thing he said, Punk was not pleased with that.
No, I can see that. Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah.
Can't you picture it? Fish has this argument with Dax. They yell at each other outside. He kind of put FTR over as being tough guys.
Right, he did. Right, he said, yeah, they were manly men, and we worked stiff, and that's fine because I like working stiff, and those guys are tough at each guys or whatever. Yeah.
So can't you see Bob Fish unlacing his boots, minding his own business? Punk coming over to be the locker room leader he bestowed upon himself.
That's so good. That line is so good.
And then Punk reading them like the Riot Act. all this, and Fish just looking up and calmly saying, "I'm
right.
not."
The whole time
interested
Punk's
in
talking to him, by the way, he's looking at the ground, untying his boots.
He's unlacing the boots, and he just looks up and says, "I'm sorry, Mr. Brooks. I'm not interested in what you have to say." And then Punk basically mumbling to himself and storming off. So
probably
good.
goes to Tony. Probably goes to Tony too. And says, "Hey,
it's so fucking good. I can't. I was crying.
It was brilliant
watching this video because that was the line. The line after he said the Punk bestowed it upon himself, and I didn't see him as a leader, so I let him know I wasn't interested. The exact line was, quote, "He seemed to take offense to that," and then he walked away. He seemed to take offense to that.
You just know Punk turned bright red and
he just shit on Punk and said, "Get the fuck out of my face."
Right.
What are you
fake
saying
ass
to
locker
me?
room leader. I don't give a fuck what you have to say. Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically like just and that look. Do I think Fish was this calm and even keeled in these confrontations with Punk? Probably not.
I don't know. I kind of see. I kind of see that
It's
vibe about him.
possible.
Yeah.
Look, he's just his demeanor. It's just a little off kilter, a little too calm in conflict. Those are the guys you got to be scared of.
Yes.
When they're just too calm in conflict, and those are the kind of guys that throw Punk off. Punk expects you to get in his face. But it's like when you're passive aggressive towards Punk, or if you're just uncaring when it comes to Punk shit, like Jack Perry on that footage, Punk gets in his face and Perry just does that apathetic hair flip.
The hair flip. And everybody says the hair flip is what really sends Punk to another level.
And Punk is like, "I'm going to front face lock this asshole," because that's what made him gotten to, like the apatheticness of it all from Perry. So I could totally see Fish being like, "Dude, I have no time for whatever you're saying. I don't care. I don't have time for it. I don't give a shit." And Punk not being pleased.
Taking offense to that.
just Bob Fish politely shooing him away.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just go away. I don't care about any of this. So he mentioned that Punk's private dressing quarters a couple more times. So let's circle back. So he claims that Punk gave him the Iggy, which in wrestling terms is a guy will squeeze a part of your body, your forearm or your leg, either at the finish to tell you, "Hey, we had a good match. I appreciate that match we had," or, "Hey, let's change the finish." The Iggy can mean a number of different things. He claims that Punk gave him the go to sleep, gave him the Iggy, and he didn't know what that meant. And do you want to go over what his reasoning was for kicking out at the 3.1? Because my whole kicker to this is he does this whole video about why he kicked out at 3.1 and then didn't really adequately explain why he kicked out at 3.1.
Well, because we know why he kicked out. Because it wasn't because Punk gave him an Iggy. For God's sakes, we know what. I mean, the guy probably already didn't like CM. Here's the real story: is the guy already didn't really like CM Punk.
He's Bucks adjacent.
And you can see from the second that Punk tries to lift him up for the go to sleep that Fish is sandbagging him a little bit. And Punk's got to lift him up a little higher. If you know what wrestling looks like, you know what a sandbag looks like. And Fish is sandbagging him, saying, you have to work a little harder to get me up here for this go to sleep. Then he gets him for the go to sleep. He sells it well. He takes it perfectly. But, he's thinking, I'm going to kick out of this shit when And
fuck this guy.
We've seen that in wrestling for years and years and years and decades. You don't see it anymore. It very rarely happens anymore. But back in the day, you'd see this a lot. 1, 2, 3, and then the guy, kicks out at 3.1 or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. He's Bucks adjacent. He didn't really like the guy. He thought he was a prick. Sandbagged him, went up, and then said, I'm going to kick out at 3.1. Probably knowing that he was going to get a rise out of the guy, and that's exactly what happened.
Absolutely. And knowing he would have to go back to his private dressing quarters to get his bag and his clothes.
And say, you want to do something about it. If you want to do something about it, we could be masculine men and do something about it. Or,
that's right. He knew he was going to get to getting it to egg him, to needle him. Hey, Punk, what happened, man?
Oh,
What's
man.
wrong?
I thought you gave me the Iggy. I thought you wanted me to kick out. You didn't? Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And knowing full well that Punk was never going to step up to him.
Yep.
He was getting off on all of this.
Exactly.
Is my read on it. He was totally getting off on it because Bob Fish is a legitimate hard man and everything Punk says that Punk is. That's really what it comes down to. Bob Fish will go outside with Dak and get in a fist fight if he has to, right? Bob Fish will, will say, all right, Punk, you got a problem? Let's fuck this up. Punk,
let's be masculine men and go fight.
Yeah. And, and obviously didn't like the guy. So I think that while he comes off very credible in the video, I believe every part of that story.
Because what did he say? What did he say Punk said? Like, he was like, oh, I thought you gave me the Iggy because you wanted, I don't know. I think he just literally says, I don't know why he did it. He wanted to get my attention. I don't know why.
Yeah, he
has no explanation for it because we know
he has no explanation. His explanation was that Iggy can mean a lot of different things, and I didn't know what this one meant. And I guess that's why he kicked out at 3.1. It doesn't make any sense. So his explanation makes no fucking sense, which is the funny thing about all this. I think the point of this video was you asked in the beginning, who is this for? I think it's for CM Punk. That's what I think
it's. I want Dax to see this and send this to CM Punk.
Which is exactly how it's going to play out and exactly how it's going to happen. And Bob Fish don't give a fuck. He's out of wrestling. He stopped dyeing his hair. He at the end of that MLW run, he wasn't in the best. It's clear he's not working out as hard anymore. The guy's 50 years old. He's done. Okay, he's aging gracefully now. He let it go. You spend a lifetime trying to look younger. It's hard. He stopped. He's shaving his head. Whatever hair he has left, it's gone. He's not dyeing his beard. He's not working out as hard, and he's letting it fly. And I couldn't have followed his YouTube channel fast enough after I watched his video. That video was amazing.
Yeah, it was so good.
The passive aggressiveness,
the calmness, the calmness,
the throwing all
and
the
subtle
bullshit.
digs. Oh, the subtle digs. I love most masculine men will just, we'll talk about it or we'll throw fists, either way.
Yeah.
But, we don't run from our problems. We don't run from issues.
And that's just repeating Punk stuff.
Yep.
That's just saying what Punk.
It's throwing what Punk said to the Bucks right back Fish's face. Yeah.
Right back to Punk, like throwing it right back at him. Like, hey, you complain these guys won't talk to you because they're not men. That point of that story was he wouldn't talk to me. So, that incredible video. We can't even do it justice.
No.
You have to watch this thing for yourself.
It's like 21 minutes. It's worth your time for 21 minutes.
Oh, God, it's so good. I hope he does a million more of these, because look, it totally explains why Red Dragon only worked like 3 2-on-2 tag matches in the history of their AEW run, which was baffling at the time. And it explains why he was slowly downcycled and then quietly let go when his contract expired, because
he did last there until July. I actually looked that up. It was several months after, because this was October. He lasted until July of 2022.
Yeah, when his contract ran out.
Yeah.
They kept him around when his contract ran out, and then they let him go. And you could see why, because, Punk was still around at that point, right? So it's like Punk wanted him gone, and it was a thing because he had Dax go in there and try to rough him up. So he stood no chance at that point. Tony was going to do whatever Punk asked him to do when it came to some mid-card guy. So that kind of explains why he kind of just disappeared. But incredible video. I want to see what else he has up his sleeve. It seems like he's going to do more of these. So everyone's got to go watch that shit, especially if you don't like Punk. You'll get a lot out of it.
If you're anti-Punk. If you have Punk derangement syndrome, this is catnip for you. Yes, this is good stuff. You got to know the subtlety, though. You got to know the subtlety of Phil Brooks.
It'll hit you. It'll hit you right upside the head when you watch it. I mean, it's pretty obvious what Fish is doing. He is so good. He went over all his. There was other stuff too, like. Because, I played college football, and I was a boxer, and while I thought Punk was a decent wrestler, you could tell he wasn't much of an athlete.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He said at the beginning, he was a good wrestler, but he was clunky, and he wasn't very athletic, and, he maximized his limited athletic skills, but you could tell he wasn't a real athlete or whatever.
Yeah, he was very limited athletically. Now, I was a college football player, for instance, and I boxed, and I had an amateur MMA career, and, setting the stage of I would have wrecked this man if it came down, is what he was trying to say. So it's very, very funny. Very subtle. It sounds like they're direct shots, but they're way
Which,
more
by the way, I
subtle
looked it up. He played linebacker for a community college, but he's trying to present it like it,
yeah. I mean, but listen, that's way
still,
more than Punk
it's still more. Yeah, exactly, exactly. That means you're at least somewhat of an athlete, and Punk is not an athlete at all.
Right.
But great stuff. Incredible stuff. Well, hey, speaking of CM Punk, real quickly, Saturday night's main event is this Saturday. He's going for the World Heavyweight title against Yeet Man, Jey Uso versus CM Punk. You also have the undisputed title, Cody Rhodes defending against Drew McIntyre. First time ever matchup, I believe, between those two men. So there you go. That'll be interesting. Dominic Mysterio defending the IC title against Penta and Rusev. Okay. And then Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's title. This is the Jade Cargill push, Joe. We're watching it finally, and everyone's ready for it, even though she's been here for 2 years. But this is the push. Great.
Yeah, well, it's now or never, right? They got to get something out of her. They're paying her $1 gazillion. They brought her in. They saw that she was terrible. She doesn't feel special anymore. When they brought her in, they did their best with the limos and stuff, and she still felt special.
Right.
She made the jump.
And all their PR wing Twitter accounts were all going nuts for her. They did all the work. They did all the work for him, but then the bell rang.
Then she couldn't go.
Yeah,
right. So they took her a while to even put her in the ring, and now they've done a lot with her, and it's like, all right, well, she's in her mid-30s. She's obviously not going to get any better. We're paying her a lot of money. We have to push her at some point. So here comes the push. Is it going to revive her, and is she going to have the same aura and star power that she had when she came into the company? I don't think so.
No,
they might tell you they love to tell you when people are stars when they're really not, because that's their job. They're promoters. But is she a difference maker? You don't get the sense that she is at all. There was a point in AEW where she was moving quarter hours to some degree. This is one Jade Cargill. I think Sting is the gold standard. Tony Khan's handling of Sting was 100% pitch perfect. You wouldn't change one single thing, right? Like everything.
Oh, never. Exactly, I wouldn't change a single thing.
That is Tony Khan's magnum opus of booking, how he handled Sting. I think one of the obvious big wins in the way Tony Khan handled someone was Jade Cargill. He pushed her basically the only way you could and to perfection. He got every ounce of anything he could have gotten out of Jade Cargill, and he was smart enough to understand that you couldn't really do much more with her. You book her as an undefeated monster. You have her win short matches where she doesn't have a chance to expose herself. You let her cut short promos where she's cocky and she has her catchphrase of cut the shit, Tony, and all of that. And that's it. But then after 2 years of that, now what? So I know Tony tried to keep her. To some degree, he tried to keep her. Obviously, he could have topped any offer if he wanted to. He didn't. She was also dead set. Let's make this clear, too. She wanted to go to WWE. So maybe he couldn't have kept her. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But there's nothing else they could have done. We talked about that in real time, like while she was there. Like,
yeah, right, it was like, we've gotten as much as we can out of you. If you want to go there, go there. Fine. Whatever. Yeah.
Now, it's like what else can AEW do with her that won't expose her? And then as soon as she gets to WWE, I mean, you even had Triple H say publicly criticizing her level of training and basically tell the world she's not ready. He said that in public.
Yeah, we have to build her up and break her down and build her back up. Essentially, is what he said publicly. Is like we got to get her into our style.
To get her from the ground up. He said something like that. So they admitted that she wasn't ready to be on their TV. And then, by the time they get her on the TV, kind of the buzz is gone. The buzz is long gone. The time they get her on TV is when you ever stepping out of them limos every week, right? Fresh off of the jump when people are excited about the jump. The buzz is gone. They put her in a tag team. She wrestles on TV. Sometimes she looks okay. Sometimes there was a couple matches where she looked great because all of her shit landed. There's other matches where she looks horrendous because she's just not that good. But at some point, you have to push her. So they're going to push her. And we'll see what happens. But I don't think she's someone that anyone is really all that excited about anymore. It's
no. People are fake excited about it, but nobody really can earnestly be excited about it.
That's one where Tony got it right. Tony did a really great job with her, I thought, from start to finish. And then you used her to put Statlander over at the end. I mean, that was nothing will be Sting. Nothing will top that. But I think Tony, the way that Tony presented her and booked her, she was a legitimate television draw for a period of time in that company.
Any other thoughts on the other matches? I mean, Cody will beat Drew. I think Punk will beat Jay. I'm sure Jimmy will cost Jay, and then we'll keep doing the Yeet Man turning heel thing. So I don't know. Or Punk will just beat him straight up. I think Punk is walking away with that title, but I don't know. If they want to put some juice behind this Jay thing, maybe he wins the title.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is with WWE booking, it's sometimes I struggle analyzing it because I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't care.
And it's hard to like
right.
I'm just being blunt. Like, I don't know. Yeah, Punk should win, but what does it
Yeah, who cares? Or Yeet Man wins. Who fucking cares? Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Someone in chat, Suit Williams, like, if they're such a star machine, shouldn't they have figured out a way to mask it earlier with Jade? Yes, but here's the thing. They will not push someone from somewhere else like that. Okay, she's not Cody, where it's like, all right, well, this is the biggest star in the business. It's almost like if they would have pushed Jade the way Tony did, they're endorsing Tony and AEW.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? They have to push her their way and prove they can do it their way. That's still kind of that Vince mindset in a lot of ways. Now, should they have just pushed her the way Tony did? Yes. Suit, I agree. Suit is right. They should have just done the same thing because what Tony did worked. If you bring Jade Cargill in week 1 and she squashes Carmella, and then week 2 she squashes fucking whoever the fuck, just whoever was there at that time, and then she wins the title, and then holds it for 200, 300 days, just beating people, she would have gotten over. It would have worked. But they're stubborn in the way that they're stubborn in their house style. They're stubborn in the way
they're
that they
very stubborn in their house style, and they want people to work their house style. And her, 2-minute squash matches was not their house style.
Not the house style. Right. When do they ever deviate?
No,
they deviate. They deviate for Brock. That's it.
Right. We talked about it. One of her early matches, she was in the ring selling for half the time, and we're like, that's not it. Like that's it. Like you're completely misunderstanding what's it.
Yes.
But to them, it's like, well, that's what you do. You're the big bay face. You sell. Then you make your big comeback, and then you hit your move, and then you win. That's their style.
She sold more in that tag than she sold in 2 years in AEW.
Right.
And that's her whole aura is, look at her. She's a fucking Amazonian woman with these muscles, and she's tall, and she's cocky. You don't make her sell. That's why I'm saying Tony did such a great job. He knew exactly how to utilize her and make her look her best.
And also knew her ceiling. And knew what her ceiling was.
And knew her ceiling, and that was total emphasize strengths, hide weaknesses, which really should always be the emphasis in pro wrestling. Her whole thing is her presence and her aura. Look at her. Nobody looks like her. Nobody's in the shape she's in. Nobody looks as strong as she does. This would be like taking Megan Bain and having her sell for 80% of all of her matches.
Right, having her sell for Julia Hart for 10 minutes and then come back on Julia Hart. It'd be terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. And as Suit points out, she also shouldn't have been a baby. She's a heel. Jade Cargill's a heel. I mean, that's just her natural, that's how she comes across. She's just a good heel. She's someone that has that natural cockiness to her. And what's the word I'm looking for? I guess cocky's the word, but whatever synonym for that. So I think that was a mistake too. I think they should have brought her in as a cocky heel who gets heat by beating all of the baby faces just like she says she's going to do. And it's like, oh shit, who could topple her? And then you have whoever the baby face is down the line, whoever you pick, Rhea, pick whoever you want. And then they're the ones that beat her and get the big rub. So yeah, but anyway, kind of got sidetracked there. But yeah, Punk should win, sure. Great. I don't fucking know.
This is on Peacock, by the way, no NBC.
Did you see though that people rejected the J stuff, the renewed J push?
Yeah.
Can we take our victory lap on that one?
Oh, we were so right about that.
They wanted him to get that. Now, listen, I just put over Tony. I'm going to put over Levesque. He handled Jay perfectly. Win the Rumble, win the fake world title, let the fans get all that out of their system. And now that the fans saw him pushed and saw him win a world title, they don't want that anymore because they got it. They're satisfied. And deep down, everybody knows he stinks. And he's just a yeet. So, yeah, they rejected it. That doesn't surprise me at all, that aspect of it. I mean, we nailed the psychology behind that every step of the way when it came to that guy. And I think Levesque understood it too. But anyway.
Then we have, let's move on real quickly. The Hiroshi Tanahashi thing. So the Tanahashi's having his final show in Gifu this weekend. Takeshita versus Goto is your main event for the world title. And then the global heavyweight title. Now, you've kind of mentioned this before. Yota Tsuji defending the title against Hiroshi Tanahashi. You don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Tanahashi wins this global title. Now, I think it'd probably be pretty rare, but I don't know. Who knows? Who could say with New Japan right now?
The reason I say it's not impossible is he's doing this story where he's challenging for all the titles. I don't think it's impossible that he wins that title and then defends it at Wrestle Kingdom and either loses it back to Tsuji or loses it to someone else and puts someone over, or even retires as the global champion. I'm not saying I think they should do that or I think they will do that. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Yeah.
The other thing, because it makes me curious that he's getting all these title shots. The other thing is it makes me curious is, will he be Takeshita's opponent at Wrestle Kingdom following the pattern of challenging for every title? But again, I don't know. I'm just, because it's curious that he keeps getting these title shots. It could just be that that's all that it is. He's going to challenge for these titles and lose to all of the champions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We also are going to get the Super Junior Tag League finals. The A block, you're not going to believe this, Joe. Against all odds, a House of Torture team has made it to the finals as Dookie and Sho have won the A block. They're also the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. So they got in.
The final.
Yeah. Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita have 8 points. Taiji Ishimori and Robbie Eagles have 6, and Kushida and Yuka Yoshioka have 6 points. So this all gets settled on November 1st. You got Tiger Mask and Yamato versus the House of Torture team of Dick Togo and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. I don't think those guys are involved in the block decider at all. Then you have Kushida and Yoshioka versus El Desperado and Kukai. So that's you'll determine that there. But the real matches here is going to be the Ichiban Sweet Boys, Fujita and Robbie Eagles versus Robbie X and Taiji Ishimori. So effectively, that match will be who goes to the finals.
We're going to find out real fast who's going to Wrestle Kingdom, because the standard booking here is then that team beats the champs and gets the title shot. Right. So feel the excitement.
Oh, yeah. Clap, get into it. This is fun. Kind of a little off topic, then we'll get to our final thing here. NBA was sending around, again, another thing where these leagues, WWE can say, we don't get numbers, or the ESPN thing. We never got any numbers for WrestlePalooza. We got no number for Crown Jewel. We get none of this number. Tony claims he doesn't get numbers. NBA more than happy to scream about the numbers that they got on their Prime Video and all that sort of stuff. Prime's more than likely that. It's a very funny thing, though, and I've seen a couple of people talk about this, and it's starting to kind of bubble up, and you and I talk about it a lot. They touted the numbers are big, these big giant. This is the most watched opening week in NBA since 2017 or whatever. It's been big and great and all this wonderful stuff. And, we're on Prime, and it's younger skewing or whatever. And a couple people pointed this out. This one guy does Insight. His name is Michael Mulvihill. And he does Insight and Analytics at Fox TV, Fox Sports, and Tubi. And he points out in these numbers, and I think it's very interesting to wrestling discussions as well. Quote, the idea that streaming is the way to reach younger fans remains the most stubborn myth in sports media. NBA games on broadcast are beating games on streaming by 79% among 18 to 43s. But because broadcast beats streaming by 371% among people 55 plus, the median age mirage persists. So
That's a really good point.
See what he's saying there?
Yeah. So it skews the average or the median viewer age is what he's saying.
Right. So everybody always goes, we're on streaming now, and it's so much younger. But it's like broadcast is still destroying streaming among 18, younger people. And the only issue is that more older people are watching on broadcast. It's not like, but the idea is that no younger people watch on broadcast. All younger people are watching on streaming, and only the olds watch on cable. But that's not the case.
Right, based on the median age on streaming being so young and the median age on broadcast being so old.
Yeah.
But the large percentage of older viewers on networks are skewing the median age, even though more of the younger people by a large degree are watching on network versus the streaming.
Right. Which I always find interesting because you get that with, we're seeing it with AEW right now where it's like, oh, well, no, every young person now is watching on Max or whatever. And it's like, well, that is
Probably not.
Yeah, it's not. And it's so funny because the first comment on this guy who's like, hey, by the way, broadcast is still destroying streaming, for 18 to 34. This person says, yes, because young people can't afford to pay for all the streaming services, but you can watch broadcast TV on their parents' YouTube TV or cable account. And it's like, well, what is it? Are they like everybody says, oh, the young people are, they don't have cable. They can't afford cable. And now they can't afford streaming either. So they use their parents' cable. It's like, what is it?
Everything is always someone can't afford it. It's always the first thing people point to.
Right. It's just so funny.
And now, look, I'm not saying the economy is great because it isn't great. But I don't know. We tend to put a lot of weight on the price of eggs. We really do. I mean, it doesn't extend to all these things that we think it extends to. But you're right. I mean, I know that's just a random commenter, and we're kind of like, this is rubbing up against being a straw man, but you do hear both sides of that, and it doesn't make sense.
Right. Nobody has cable because it's too expensive, and this guy's saying, well, nobody has streaming, it's too expensive. And it's like, well, which is it? Like, you can't be both.
It's got it. Yeah. The bottom line is this: the hard data and this guy makes a good point, and I'm surprised we never thought of this angle because we're very smart. That the numbers still dwarf the 18. You said 18 to 43,
18 to 34, 18 to 34. Yeah. Oh, did I? Okay, sorry, 18 to 34.
I knew what you meant. I didn't want to stop you though because you were making a point, but I knew you swapped the two numbers. So the 18 to 34 greatly outnumbers on broadcast, and 78%.
You know what? It was 78% on broadcast, but 55 plus broadcast was up like 300%,
dragging the median, pulling the median up,
right? Which
pulls the median up. Yeah, I understand the point he's making, and he's right, and it's actually very insightful. It's very smart. It's this conversation we have all the time. Eventually, we're going to get there, and we're just not quite there yet. And this myth that nobody is watching TV. It's just not. It's not true. Are less people watching? Yes,
of course.
It's going to continue to be less and less as we move along. But that's really smart.
And then a Twitter account that I know you follow, TV Grim Reaper, who's always a great account, says he quote tweeted this guy and said, when leagues say, quote, streaming allows us to reach a younger audience, what they really mean is, quote, tech money flush streaming companies can pay us more.
Yeah.
And tell them when he's telling lies. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
They can pay us more, and you're paying for the future.
Yeah.
You're always paying for the future.
Eventually, everybody will be on it.
Everyone's going to be on it. You'll see.
But please give us $800 million right now, because soon everybody will be here.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
good gimmick.
Yeah, for sure. And, I thought Meltzer made a good point last week too, and when he said that these stupid comparisons between NXT and Dynamite, which just don't make any sense anymore because NXT's on a network and it's all being accounted for. But the split between only 64? I know I'm in the ballpark. Something like only 64% of the potential Dynamite watchers are being counted by Nielsen because the other 36% are exclusively watching on Max of the universe of people who can even watch Dynamite. So the network to cable comparisons between the two shows is even dumber than it ever was, as more people convert strictly to Max and don't even have access to TBS. And that's something I think gets ignored a lot too. Because it was our pal Raj Giri who put out this tweet.
Oh, God.
Using Dave's own words from last year in saying that the total universes of the CW and TBS weren't all that drastically different. And Raj trying to throw that in Dave's face.
Well, they're different now, dummy, because they're on Max.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was what Dave was saying last year doesn't apply to a post-Max world, because now only 64% or whatever it is of the potential Dynamite viewing audience is being accounted for in Nielsen. Whereas when Dave wrote that original comparison point, it was 100%. And then it's so discouraging because then every reply to Raj is like, yeah, cook him.
You showed him,
And it's like, are you people fucking
Dave
stupid?
Meltzer lying again.
Using his own words to cook him. Yeah, words that aren't relevant anymore. And it gets discouraging because it's like, again, in those moments we overrate social media, and those 100 people commenting to Raj saying, cook him, they're just 100 really stupid people. And you have to keep that in perspective, right? It's not, but it feels like everyone is dumb.
Social
but
does that.
It isn't.
Well, I think more people are dumb than we.
More people are dumb than aren't dumb. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you have to have faith that there are people who understand, and you also have to understand that all those people are also wanting it to be a certain way because they're rooting for a team. Mm-hmm. So that's the other portion of it.
And hating Dave Meltzer is their personality, which
right.
Also, someone includes this guy, but carry on, and then I'll segue to our last segment.
And they're statistically dumb and poor.
Yeah.
You always have to throw that one in there. Anyway.
Of course. Okay. So another person has made hating Dave Meltzer their personality. Vince Russo. This is the most bizarre circumstance events, and I promise the following, I'm making up none of it. The names and the people involved and the promotions involved, I'm making up none of it. Now, what are the chances that the first time that we talked about Juggalo Championship Wrestling, it had to have been years that I mentioned last week, I talked about Juggalo Championship Wrestling, and here they are in the fucking news this week. Plus, it involves the NWA, and we are the NWA podcast, right? Since this podcast is its inception, we have covered the NWA more than any other podcast has covered the NWA. I'm positive of that. Somehow, these two things were in the news together along with Vince Russo this weekend. What the fuck is going on? So it all started last week when rumors began that Vince Russo was writing for the NWA. I believe it was Disco Inferno and Conan who were really stoking the flames about this. Now, how did they get this story? Wasn't it just like someone was shit talking and these dummies thought it was real or something?
I think I have this unraveled and unpacked and investigated properly. There was a podcast that did a video about the NWA and how bad it is. And they what they were saying in their video or on their podcast or whatever that became a YouTube video, that the NWA is so bad that it feels like Vince Russo is booking it. And in the thumbnail on YouTube, they put Vince Russo's face over an NWA match, and the headline was intentionally deceptive. Vince Russo booking the, you get the gist of it.
Got it. Okay.
But on their podcast, they were just having fun burying the NWA and saying it's so bad that Vince Russo must be booking this garbage because it's so bad, right? But they wanted to get the hits on YouTube, so they made it kind of vague and deceptive in the title and on the thumbnail. I think Conan and Disco saw that.
It's the worst timeline.
Because it was all over my algorithm. I never clicked it or listened to it, but I saw the video a million times, and every time I would pass by it, I would freeze and go, "Wait, Vince Russo's booking the NWA? Oh, wait, it's that same video.
It's
I
that
saw.
dumb video. Okay, yeah, I got it.
And it would stop me in my tracks for a second, but I think that Conan and Disco saw that because it was all over everybody's algorithms last week and the week before, and then they went on their show and combined with the fact that Russo on his show, I know you hate all of this.
It's the worst. I hate everything that you're saying, but keep going.
Russo on his show around this time was hinting that he had taken over the book for a company.
Yes. So I do know that part. So yeah, Russo on his 98th soon to be failed podcast, Bro Down, with some guy that I've never heard of.
With his co-host, he's been hinting for weeks that he's taken over the book in some company.
Right. So he says, I'm doing some work. I'm doing work in a promotion. The guy goes, yeah, you're in the NWA, right? And he goes, yeah.
No. You're okay. That's yes.
Oh, that's later. There's another one.
Listen. Yeah. Listen.
Oh God.
For weeks, Russo has been saying that he's taking over the book for a promotion. Okay. So here's what I think happened. Conan and Disco, one or the other, both listen to Vince's show. They're regular listeners, okay, which is very plausible.
To Bro Down.
So they've been hearing Vince Russo say all of this. They then see the YouTube clip that I'm talking about, they put 2 and 2 together. They surmise that the promotion that Russo has been hinting about is the NWA. They go on their podcast, and to their credit, I have to defend them. People are blaming them for reporting that Vince Russo is booking the NWA. They didn't do that. They were speculating that that's the promotion that Russo has been hinting about. They're like, we think he's booking the NWA. He could be booking MLW. They threw that in there too. Then Vince goes on his show, and that's the clip that you heard.
Okay.
Where the co-host is mocking Conan and Disco by saying, oh, Vince, I heard you're booking the NWA or maybe even MLW. That's the clip you saw.
Yes, yeah.
They were reacting to Disco and Conan, and that's when Russo kind of perpetuates or pretends that they were right, and basically indirectly but kind of directly says that he's booking the NWA. He wrote 9 episodes. He's doing a Me Too storyline.
So yeah, he goes, bro, here's what we're going to do. In the first 9 weeks, I wrote 9 weeks of television. In week 1, bro, someone gets a concussion and they go to concussion protocol. And the guy's like nodding along like, oh, it sounds awesome. And it's like, what are you doing?
Brilliant.
Like, is this really good? He's like, bro, and then what we're going to do, a female wrestler, she is in danger of losing her power, bro. She's losing her power, so she pulls the Me Too card. The Me Too card. And the other guy's like nodding along, and I'm like, what is this?
Me Too card. The Me Too card. We got to make that a bit. The Me Too card. So, yeah.
What is this?
Okay.
Brilliant.
So
brilliant as always. But yes.
So the next thing that happens is people see the clip, reasonably conclude that Vince is telling the truth.
Why?
Now look, when we were talking about it in a Discord that came up, eventually I watched all of this. I dug in and I said, you know what? It doesn't add up. I think Russo was doing a bit.
Right. Ribbon on the square.
Came across to me like a bit. It came across like Russo was mocking Conan and Disco for spreading this false information, even though Conan and Disco were really just speculating. You don't have to hand it to ISIS, but I think they were just speculating. So that was my read on it. And I was like, I don't buy it. I think it's probably not true. And then it kind of died on our Discord. Everyone kind of then agreed. Yeah, it's probably not the case. How I thought this was going to end, because then Dave Meltzer goes on his show. And Garrett Gonzalez asks him about it. What's this Russo stuff that's going around? And Dave is like, well, if it's true, no one's going to care because it's the fucking NWA. No one gives a shit about the NWA. So I'm thinking to myself, that's a reasonable take. But this is just going to lead to another week of Dave is the liar, because this is ultimately going to be revealed. Someone's going to do a debunkathon and say that Vince isn't booking the NWA, and then everyone's going to think that
everyone's going to misquote
this.
Dave talking that Dave Meltzer confirms Vince Russo booking NWA, even though that's not what he said. But
so I thought that's how this was all going to end, because even though Dave was just reacting to the rumor that everybody else was reacting to, right, and giving his opinion on whether. So anyway, that didn't end up happening because Vince Russo showed up. Ironically enough, you spent a lot of time talking about this promotion last week. What did you know, Rich Craich? I have to ask you. Did you know? What have you been hiding? Because why did you randomly bring up Juggalo champion shit wrestling last week? You must have knew this was cooking. But Vince shows up at the Juggalo show and announces himself as the new executive producer or whatever the fuck. And then goes back on his podcast or on Twitter or whatever. And, bro, I worked all the mocks, bro. I worked every one of them. They all fell for it. I worked every one of those mocks. They all thought I was going to the NWA, but I'm going to Juggalo Champ. So that's the story from start to finish. He's not booking the NWA. He's booking Juggalo champion shit wrestling.
So
and,
it started.
He thinks he's brilliant. And
he swerved us all again. He did it. So
it was a swerve, bro.
Because he tweeted out on Saturday, not NWA. You marks are still getting worked after all these years. And then he tweets out, and it's so good because of course you got a Dave Meltzer bash. That's you just have to.
Yeah.
Quote, I hope you can now believe me about the dirt sheet media led by the infallible at Dave Meltzer, of course, at him or whatever. I have no idea where at NWA even came from. Not me. Of course, nobody even bothered to call to ask. This is exactly what I've been saying about wrestling journalists for years. Dave, I told you the hair dye was starting to seep into your brain. I am now a proud investor, all caps, in JCW lunacy. You are about to see things you never thought you'd see on a professional wrestling show. 3 exclamation points. The mamby-bamby phone it in BS is over. 3 exclamation points. Mamby-bamby, mamby-pamby phone it in BS.
Well, great. He says he has no idea where it came from, yet he blames Dave.
Yeah. It's just perfect.
Now, just go back to my article.
Yep.
What's the title, Rich?
Yep. The easiest way to get over is bashing Dave Meltzer. I forget exactly the title, but something like that.
Need a quick PR boost? Bash Dave Meltzer.
Yep.
He admits he doesn't know where it came from, but who does he go after?
Dave Meltzer.
The easy target that everyone will go, cook him, bro. When it was Conan and Disco.
Yep.
Who also, by the way, didn't report anything. They just guessed. Oh, he might be booking the NWA. Or he might be booking MLW. We do that shit on our show every week. Oh, this might be happening or that might be happening. That's just people talking. People are allowed to do that. But that's where it came from, Conan and Disco. And you know where it really came from? It came from Vince Russo. He's the one who went on his podcast and told everybody it's the NWA.
Yeah. That's right. I'm booking the NWA, bro. Yeah.
He's the one who did it. He confirmed it. He
was swerving us, Joe. He's swiveling the hips and he swerved us.
Bro. If he didn't confirm it, no one would have been talking about it.
Nobody would have said a thing.
Nobody was sharing the clips of Conan and Disco. They were sharing the clip of Vince Russo saying he's booking the NWA. He's the one who said it. So now you can report your own fake news about yourself and then blame Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, it's great. What a gimmick.
It's incredible. That clip was going around of Vince. Not Dave, not Disco, not Conan. The clip going around was of Vince Russo himself saying that he's booking the NWA. And then he blames the dirt sheets for spreading misinformation. Fucking idiot.
It's so good.
And no one's going to give a shit that he's booking
it's the
Jungle.
Dumbest industry ever. Oh, by the way, his debut is going to be on Thanksgiving Day. I love this. Jungle Championship Wrestling sent out a press release. I got the press release as well. And it said, tune into Psychopath Records YouTube channel or whatever I said the JCW shows were on Thanksgiving Day to watch the debut of Vince Russo on Jungle Championship Wrestling. I'm thinking, could you pick a worse day? Who is going to say, all right, guys, get that turkey down. I got to get to the Psychopath Records
family round.
Right. Turn off the football game.
Yeah.
We got to watch Vince Russo make his debut for Juggalo Championship Wrestling, guys. Sorry. Let me punch up the Psychopath Records, YouTube channel to watch Vince. It's just ridiculous. And then in the dumbest industry ever, the NWA's Brian Idol tweeted out the following in response to Russo using the NWA's name. Quote, I think it says a lot about at NWA that Vince Russo used it for clout to swerve to promote another company. I also don't mind defending it to haters here because I am proud of what the NWA has accomplished and I will always defend and protect this brand. Case and point. I think it means case in point. We have out TV and indie promotions, and with many of the same buildings we've run in. There's a lot of errors here, but I'm going to try to translate as much as possible. Case in point, we have out TV. I don't know what he means there, but it's not an accident. What we have is physical and tangible and full of growth and potential. People can hate, but that doesn't make it facts. The NWA is super legit.
Well, I mean, Brian Idol has the
All you have to if you keep saying something's legit, that definitely means it's legit. The more you tell people, trust me, it's legit. What we're doing here is pretty legit. Just so you know.
Yeah, we don't need Vince Russo.
Yeah.
Case end point.
Yeah, case and point. So this, just to add to the absolute stupidity of this entire scenario, this is Vince Russo's first job back in a wrestling company since his 5 months as the script consultant for the Nashville-based lucha company Arrow Lucha. Remember Arrow Lucha or Arrow Lucha?
Of course I remember Arrow Lucha.
Run by Ron and Don Harris. You might remember, I think you were out this week, but I did a whole segment about Arrow Lucha or Arrow Lucha. I don't care to remember what it was pronounced as, because they announced earlier this year in April that they were dissolving the company. They claimed that WWE's purchase of AAA made it impossible for them to operate in this current environment. So they blamed AAA's being purchased by WWE for the reason why they could not operate in this environment. Just one problem, they had not run a show since 2018.
Yeah.
The dumbest industry, professional wrestling.
That's 7 years.
Right. But now it's like, wow, we simply cannot run in this current environment thanks to WWE's purchase of AAA.
Case end point.
Case end point.
It's water over the dam. You know.
Right. Stupid business. This has been a great. I mean, this entire show is just what a representation of how dumb this business is. Austin Aries just doing boilerplate heel shit is the best thing in wrestling. Bobby Fish calmly putting down CM Punk numerous times. It's incredible. Just absolute bitch stuff going, you know what I mean? Just messy bitch stuff going on. I love it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this Vince Russo thing, which is just the dumbest. Disco, Conan, Vince Russo, Bro Down, Brian Idol, the NWA, Juggalo Championship Wrestling, Arrow Lucha. It's so good. It's just the dumbest fucking industry, but I love it. It's why I can't quit it. How could you quit this business?
Well, yeah.
You can't. You simply cannot.
It's truly the dumbest fucking business.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
And someone smart has to cover it and do podcasts about it. And that's what we do here. Anyway, that's it for us.
Good place to end it.
It's a great place to end it. So that is Joe. I'm Rich. By the way, flagshippatreon.com, our Hall of Fame shows. Cannot recommend those enough. Rave reviews for the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame shows up there on our $5 tier at flagshippatreon.com. Every single one of our region by region shows is out right now. You'll get a ballot reveal show sometime in the next week or so, because obviously ballots are due November 8th. So sometime in the next week, we'll have a ballot review show where we let you know who we're voted for in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. But a lot of that is up there. Obviously, the wrestling, the Thursday Dynamite reviews is up there. My Tour of the Territories reviews are up there. A lot of written content lately as well from us at flagshippatreon.com, plus access to Instant Reaction Live anytime there's a big AEW pay-per-view. We'll do a live post show after it. So that is available as well on flagshippatreon.com. So $5 tier, $10 tier as well. We do have a free tier. So if you want to get it for free, you do get some content as well. And it lets you know when we do update new stuff on there as well. So it's a good way to keep up with what's getting posted there. And if you see something you like, you can upgrade very easily to either that $5 or $10 tier. But that is it for us. I hope everybody has a very safe and happy Halloween. And that is Joe. I'm Rich. We'll talk to you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
My name is Tyler Fornes, and I am one of the co-hosts of the Good, the Bad, and the Hungy AEW podcast here on the Voice of Wrestling Podcasting Network. We take a broad scope approach to the world of All Elite Wrestling and the entire universe of Tony Khan. We talk about the big matches, the big stars, the promos, the storylines, and we also look at it from a big picture perspective. How are things going to change over the course of the next 10 years with AEW still in the picture? How are companies like WWE going to adapt and adjust to AEW? Are they going to be a similar way like they did with WCW in the late 1990s? Will there be a counterpunch? We talk about all of that and more on The Good, the Bad, and the Hungy every week on the Voices of Wrestling Network.
Hello, Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network listeners. I am Jeff Hawkins, co-host of Shake Them Ropes, with a very special announcement. If it's been a while or you've never listened to us before, the original gang is back. Myself and Rob McCarran, back talking wrestling We have no idea where this show's going to go, where we're going to keep any of the old bits or any of the old things in there. It's going to be a process. It's going to be a journey, and we'd like for you to come along with us. Only on Shake Them Ropes on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network.